On October 21st, 2021, the day that Anna Boulaban would die, she texted her estranged husband Ali and said, "I want you out of my life once and for all." She'd been fighting for her freedom for a while, but Ali didn't see her as anything more than his personal property, who didn't have the right to discard him or end their marriage, even though she was the mother of his child. If he couldn't have her, no one could. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 55 of the Darklivity podcast. I'm your host, Kimbyrleigha, and I'm here with my partner in crime, my co-host, my husband, Jonathan.
Hi. Darklivity is the dark downward slope into the degradation of the human mind and the consequences that such darkness brings to light.
So when we left off in part 1, and this is part 2, so you may want to stop right here, go back and watch part 1. I will link it in the cards and below because there's a lot of context, there's a lot of backstory. But when we left off, TikTok star Ali Boulaban had been arrested for the murder of his wife and the male friend that she was with. They were both shot to death in the apartment that Ali and Anna once shared together before Anna asked for a separation. We were showing you one of Ali's interviews from behind bars, one that was a mixture of shock, confusion, and back and forth on seemingly admitting whether he killed Ray and Anna, but also saying he wasn't responsible, saying things like, "I lost my wife. I found them like that." But Ali gave several interviews after that one, where he very publicly claimed he was responsible, but that this was a crime of passion fueled by substances, alcohol, and untreated mental illness. He was claiming diminished capacity and believed he at most was only guilty of involuntary manslaughter, not murder. The prosecution disagreed. They felt that Ali had premeditated Anna and Ray's murder, and they believed they could prove it. Ali was officially charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the deliberate killings of Anna Marie Boulaban and Rayburn Cardenas Barron. This is where we will begin today's video and the explosive trial that took place. There is a lot to talk about, so I think it's good that we recap, especially because some of you are not going to watch part 1, and that is completely fine. Ali Boulaban was a social media personality known for his YouTube and especially his TikTok content, which he created under the name Jin Kid. Ali rose to fame with his spot-on impressions of well-known characters from the movie Scarface, the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, and he bore a startling resemblance to young Al Pacino. And doing these skits, he amassed a large following. However, behind his internet fame, his personal life was in turmoil. His marriage to Anna Boulaban was deteriorating, and tensions reached a breaking point. With a marriage filled with a history of infidelity and domestic altercations, and Anna had asked for a separation. During that time, Ali had broken into the apartment that he previously shared with Anna and their 5-year-old daughter, Amira. And he did 2 things.
First, he vandalized the apartment, and second, he installed an app on his daughter's iPad that would allow him to listen in on conversations, and he hid that iPad underneath the bed that he shared with Anna. And what followed was a devastating series of events that ended with both Anna and her friend Ray being murdered.
We are calling him her friend, but they were in a intimate relationship. We're going to get there.
Earlier that day, when Anna came home and saw that the apartment was trashed, she called up a friend to pick up their daughter Amira and just hang out with her while they clean up the apartment. She didn't want Amira to see all the chaos and her broken toys. So Anna called another friend named Ray to come over and help clean up the apartment. Anna had no idea when she accepted Ray's offer to help clean up the apartment that she would be signing both of their death warrants. Unbeknownst to her, Ollie was sitting in his hotel room and just waiting for signs of betrayal and infidelity. And Ollie went ballistic when he heard a male's voice on that secret listening app. He was outraged when he heard Anna and this man laughing together. He thought they were talking about him, and Ollie imagined that they were laughing at him.
And then he said his worst nightmare came true. He heard R&B music. He later told a reporter from jail that he knew that she was about to get intimate with this guy. So what did he do? He loaded his gun, tucked it into his waistband, hidden underneath his shirt, and headed to the high-rise apartment complex. While driving, he said he was screaming, "Anna, don't do it," while he's listening on this app to what's going on. Now, neighbors heard what sounded like shouting and gunshots. 911 is called, not just by a neighbor, but also Ali himself, who's calling for help, saying that he just found his wife and a guy shot in their apartment, an attempt to distance himself from the crime. But because of technology, investigators were able to prove he was not only there, but he committed the murders. But was it in the heat of passion or was it planned?
After leaving the apartment, he drove to his daughter's school, picked her up early, and went on a long drive down Route 15, saying that he was going to take Amira someplace safe.
Clearly, he is unsafe, so that hardly made sense.
But he was still, at the time, distancing himself from the crime.
Right. And Anna had sent her friend to the school to pick up her daughter. When that friend went to the school and learned that Ali had already picked her up, she was immediately suspicious. She was worried for her friend. She began calling Anna, but she couldn't get an answer. When she drove to Anna's apartment, she was shocked to see police cars everywhere and crime scene tape preventing her from getting closer. She had this sick feeling in her stomach. She immediately knew that Ali had hurt Anna and possibly Amira too. She told the police about her fears and they immediately began looking for Ali's car.
When police caught up with Ali, he still believed that he can get away with Anna's murder. And with him in his Jeep was more ammunition and his Glock pistol, which was already reloaded. But he insinuated that he found his wife dead and that someone else was after him. He was immediately arrested, even telling the reporter in the video that we played in the first part that he lost his wife. But then almost in the same breath explaining how he caught her with another man. And said that, what was I supposed to do? However, after a few hours in custody, he confessed. He had shot both Anna and Ray, but he claimed that he snapped upon seeing them together.
Yeah, he was like, she's still my wife, and this happened in the heat of the moment. And Ali described his actions as a response to the perceived betrayal, and this shocking admission led to a trial that we're about to showcase to all of you, of course highlighting the most compelling parts. The prosecution argued premeditation was fueled by jealousy, while the defense claimed emotional distress and diminished capacity. Ali even told his cellmates he expected no more than 5 years per body, believing manslaughter charges should apply. The prosecutor's point of view was that Ali planned the murders as evidenced by him spying on Anna through the hidden device, entering the apartment with a firearm, and there was also a gun enhancement charge due to exceptional circumstances since Ali killed more than one person and used a handgun. Now that's in the state of California. That's an extra charge for these kind of circumstances. And just a little bit of a backstory in case some of you did not watch part 1, Anna and Ali met in Japan while he was stationed out there. They broke up when he was discharged for a DV incident involving Anna. She eventually moved back to the Philippines, but soon Ali wanted her back. Now that wasn't in the plan until Anna realized that she was pregnant with his child, and he convinced her to move to the US. She eventually made it out there with little Amira.
And Ali's social presence really started to take off, especially on TikTok. After a few years, Anna, gathering her own following, encouraged Ali to move to San Diego, where she knew more people and had a support system. They had been living near his parents in Virginia, and Ali agreed so he could pursue acting. However, behind his internet fame, Ali's personal life was in turmoil. However, tensions reached a breaking point, especially with his infidelity and coke use. Meanwhile, Anna's friends were deeply concerned about her relationship with her husband. They knew he was unstable, violent, and would often hurt her, but she still imagined that he would change.
One of her friends even urged her to please get a restraining order, and she strongly considered filing one against Ali, but his mom, Dalal, strongly discouraged it. Interestingly, and probably not a surprise, but Ali was always able to talk Anna out of pressing charges against him because he could lose his military clearance and his job if he got arrested for DV. He was the sole breadwinner for their family, so Anna just endured the mistreatment, secretly trying to find a way out, confiding in her friends and coming up with a plan. And we know this is the most dangerous time for a woman when she's trying to leave a very toxic relationship. Everything came to a head when Elise suspected that Anna was in the secret relationship with Rayburn Barron. He was known as Ray. Ray had immediately become a part of their friend group in San Diego. He was born in 1992 in Mexico and later moved to San Diego. While he and Anna's relationship was actually platonic at first, it was well known within their friend group that Ray always had a crush on Anna the entire time she was with Ali. When things got bad, Anna actually leaned on Ray for support. Now both of them are dead.
Even while in jail, Ali's online presence didn't stop. Someone posted a video on his YouTube channel for him where he apologized for not being able to make videos anymore. He thanked his followers for their support and said he appreciated them still sticking by him. His focus was on his fans, which left many people questioning his priorities after everything that happened. He didn't seem to fully acknowledge the loss of Anna, the mother of his child, or the impact it had on others, including Amira.
The prosecution planned to give the jury the option to consider lesser included charges of 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of voluntary manslaughter. These charges were alternatives to the first-degree murder charges that the prosecution was pursuing. Now, to prove the first-degree murder charge, they had to show that Ali was in his right mind and had premeditated the killings. The second-degree murder charge would apply if the jury believed that Ali had killed Anna and Ray with malice, but without premeditation or specific intent to kill, which is a lower threshold to prove that than first-degree murder. The voluntary manslaughter charges, which was what Ali was hoping to get charged with, and that was what his defense was pursuing, could be considered by the jury if they found that Ali acted in the heat of passion, driven by intense emotions like jealousy or betrayal, without the intent to kill beforehand. This can sometimes apply when a spouse comes home, they catch their partner with another person, and they act out of this spontaneous crime of passion.
But according to the recording device, both Anna and Ray were fully clothed, sitting on the couch, talking at the time of their murder. And we will get into more of this evidence as well as other digital evidence a little later. Plus, Ali already knew that they were together when he entered the apartment, and seeing them both sitting on the couch shouldn't have been a shocking surprise. He didn't unexpectedly stumble upon them, naked in bed, so that would seem to diminish his argument for the crime of passion defense. But let's get into the trial, which began on May 1st, 2024, with the opening statements from the prosecution. The prosecutor laid the groundwork for their respective cases. Deputy District Attorney Taryn Brost delivered the opening statements for the prosecution, and defense counsel Jody Green delivered opening statements for Ali.
The prosecution began by arguing that Ali was controlling and had a history of mistreating Anna, that the killings were a deliberate act of jealousy, and they highlighted Ali's violent behavior and the events leading up to the murders. The prosecution also highlighted Ali's actions after the killings, noting that he called his mother to confess. We'll get into a lot more on that later. And he picked up his daughter from school, after which he calls the police and finally admitted to the shootings after he was in jail. They aimed to show that Ali's behavior was calculated and that he acted with the intent to kill.
The defense, on the other hand, took a different approach. They argued that Ali was not in the right state of mind at the time of the murders, suggesting that he acted out of extreme emotional distress rather than with premeditation. They focused on Ali's deteriorating mental state and substance addiction and attempted to frame Ali as a man driven to the edge by his belief that his wife was being unfaithful, portraying him as emotionally unstable and heartbroken over their separation. They indicated that the killings were not planned and instead the result of Ali's impulsive actions in a moment of intense emotional turmoil and deep-rooted childhood trauma, arguing that his judgment was clouded at the time of the crime, i.e., he wasn't thinking clearly.
Right.
While the defense did not deny that Ali committed the shootings, they sought to reduce the severity of the charges, aiming to convince the jury that the killings were not cold-blooded murders, but rather an impulsive act of violence driven by his fragile mental state.
The opening statements set up a battle between the prosecution's portrayal of a calculated killer and the defense's claim of a man pushed to the brink by his emotional despair. Just watch if you can as a 13th juror, but you're going to tell what I feel like the entire time because I couldn't help it. There was just so much going on. One of Anna and Ali's neighbors, Carolina Prieto, the woman who called the police and gave the description of a man running from the apartment, she testified that a month before the murders, Anna and her daughter knocked on her door asking for help. Anna told this neighbor, who she didn't even know, that her husband Ali had taken her phone and wouldn't give it back. Anna also said that Ali had hit her and she wanted help in calling the police.
Anna was telling you these things. Did she tell you what someone had done to her?
Yeah, she did mention that Ali was beating her.
Did she use those words, Ali, or did she use another term for him?
He said he.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, did you know that they were husband and wife?
Yes.
And from what you could see, was there anyone else inside the apartment?
He was inside the apartment.
He being the defendant who's sitting here in court?
Correct.
So the defendant and Amira are inside the apartment?
The
The child?
Yes.
Right. Did you know her to be Amira?
No.
So the child and the defendant were inside the apartment? Did you see anyone? Is that a yes?
No. The child was with Anna outside of the apartment when she asked for help.
Okay. But anyone else inside the apartment?
No.
Just the three of them?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
when Anna was outside crying, where was the child Amira?
Next to her.
What was Amira's demeanor like?
She was also asking for help.
Was Amira crying?
Yes.
When you say Amira was asking for help, did she use those specific words?
I don't remember the exact words she used.
Did Amira say anything about what had happened?
Objection on her false finger saying.
Sustained.
Did, when Anna told you that he was beating her, did she give any other details?
No, she just asked for a phone to call her family.
At first, Anna wanted to borrow the phone to call 911, but later she changed her mind and asked if she could call her family for help. Kimbyrleigha kept the door open while Anna used her phone. It appeared that Anna was struggling with the decision about whether to call the police or call her family. Her fear of Ali ultimately was the reason why Anna changed her mind.
After Anna returned to the apartment, the neighbor continued to hear Anna and Ali arguing loudly and heard loud noises from throwing things around and dropping to the floor. She also remembered that Anna was screaming "stop it" several times on more than one occasion. She could also hear Amira screaming "stop it" and asking her dad to leave her mom alone. Amira was crying and sounded worried and upset. About a month after this incident, Kimbyrleigha was working from home on October 21st, 2021, and she heard gunshots at the time of Anna and Ray's murder.
At some point that day, did you hear anything that concerned you?
No.
What about as we're getting towards 3 p.m.?
Yes.
What did you hear?
I heard shots.
What do you mean by shots?
Gunshots.
When you heard the gunshots, are you still inside your office?
Yes.
Before the gunshots, did you hear anything coming from apartment 3508?
No.
Any screaming?
No.
Any loud noises?
No.
Any words exchanged between people?
No.
Any conversation or words spoken by any males
No.
inside the apartment? It's a no?
No.
Okay. When you heard the gunshots, could you tell where they were coming from?
I heard the gunshots and I ran through the door to see through the peephole.
Are there any apartments like directly next to yours and Anna's apartment?
There was an apartment next to me and an apartment across,
That further away down the hall?
further away.
Is there a trash chute to the right of your apartment?
Yes,
Okay. And so any apartments would be past that trash chute?
correct.
Okay. So you hear the gunshots, and then you said you run to your door.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do at your door?
I ran through my door to see through the peephole, the fisheye,
Okay. How many gunshots did you hear?
multiple.
Remember how many?
4 or 6, there were a lot.
When you spoke with Detective Edelson, did you tell him you heard?
Yes. I was very nervous at the moment. I didn't really count when I heard them.
Understood. Well, when you hear the gunshots, you said you went to your front door and you look out your people. What do you see? What can you see outside the people?
It was quiet for a moment, and then I see Ali coming outside of his apartment.
After hearing 4 to 6 gunshots, Kimbyrleigha looked through her peephole, which directly faced Anna and Ali's apartment, and she saw Ali exit the apartment in dark clothing, walking quickly towards the elevator. He soon returned, shouting, "Anna," multiple times, grabbed some mail from the doormat, and left again. Ali appeared distressed and in a rush. It's believed that during this brief return, he took a gruesome photo of Anna and Ray's bodies, which he later sent to his mother.
The neighbor's testimony was crucial for establishing Ollie's actions after the murders. A few minutes later, the police arrived, and she told the police that she heard gunshots and saw Ollie leaving. She described his clothing, but they mistakenly detained her husband, Daniel.
Yeah, she explained the misunderstanding. She's like, "No, sorry, that's actually my husband." But that was so strange. They actually detained him in the lobby, thinking that he was the man fleeing from the apartment.
And next, the police used her apartment as a staging area while they set up forensic experts to process the crime scene. And that's when Kimbyrleigha retrieved photos of Ollie from his Instagram account to help the police identify him. Kimbyrleigha didn't know how the police had shown up so quickly, but then she learned that Ollie had called the police himself and reported Anna's murder as if he had no involvement.
Yeah, imagine that, finding out, like, wait, he called the police?
San Diego Emergency, dispatcher 8107.
Yes, ma'am. My wife and another man were, I found them dead on the couch, bullet holes in the face.
Wait, someone was shot?
2 people, a man and my wife.
Okay, what's the location?
On the couch.
What's the location?
It's 1475 Island Avenue, San Diego. It's going to be apartment 3508.
Apartment, okay, hold on, this fire. Apartment 3508?
Yes.
Okay, stand by.
Please help my wife. Please help me.
Okay, hold on, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, stand by. I'm bringing on my supervisor. What is your name?
My name is Ali.
Ali? Okay.
Yes, I'm her husband.
I understand. Ali, what's your last name?
Boulevard. ABULABAN.
Okay, hold on.
Please help them.
Sir, stand by for my supervisor. Do not hang up, okay?
Okay, but you need to keep...
Hold on. I'll be here in just a second. What's the number? 34026. We will need medics. He says his wife was shot. Okay. Okay, sir. Ali?
Yeah.
Ali, are you there with her? Are you in the apartment?
No, I left.
Okay. Are you nearby?
I'm in there. I'm just fine.
Okay, hold on. I need to confirm the location. Listen, 14755.
San Diego. Next to Vinavon Park. 1475 Island Avenue. Apartment number 3508.
3508? 08.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So hold on. Tell me what you saw when you went in there.
I saw my wife on the couch. Put my hand on her head.
Wife is on her?
I don't know who he is. I know him. He's in his grave.
Ray? Okay, but I know you said your wife was shot in the face. Is that what you said?
Yeah, in the forehead. And he had 2 or 3 bullets in the head.
He's also shot? Ray is?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he have the gun still? Was there anyone else in the apartment?
No, I don't know. I just talked to him.
I'm sorry, was it 2 people that were shot inside the apartment? Correct, yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have 2 people shot inside the apartment and no one else, as far as you know, was in the apartment, right?
No, ma'am. I couldn't even breathe myself. It was so terrible.
Okay.
Was it an accident? Did you say it was an accident, or did you know who did it?
Yes. So,
He
sir?
just connected, right?
Oh, he just did, yes.
Okay.
I'll call that.
Did we get any further?
No, he said he walked into the apartment, the wife was on the couch, she was shot in the head, and there was a man in there who was also shot. And then we had the name Ray, and that was really all.
Ali placed that call at 3:10 p.m. on the day of the murders. While the 911 call was being played during the trial, Ali would scrunch up his face, but he wouldn't be crying. He would be doing what a lot of defendants do. Yeah, where no tears are coming out, but you're like trying hard to make it look like you're crying, not using tissues, not making any sniffling sounds because there's like no water. During the 911 call, Ali stated that the man who he pretended not to know, even though they were friends in the very same friend group, he definitely knew who Ray was. He said his name might be Ray. and he had been shot 3 times. And then he very specifically told the 911 dispatcher that Anna had been shot once in the forehead. That's a lot of detail for someone who was pretending to have found 2 dead bodies on the couch and fled out of fear.
Of course, when Ollie made that phone call, he had no idea that the neighbor's door camera was capturing footage of him confessing to the murders while talking to his mother on the phone. You can even hear him tell his mother that he sent her a photo of their dead bodies.
We'll get into this later, but what are you doing? And don't you know, not you guys, but actually everyone, don't we all know that there are cameras, that are things going on? People are hearing us, seeing us, recording us in this day and age?
Officer Diego Arenas was the first to arrive on the scene that day. At the time, he had no idea that the reporting party, Ali, was the shooter. So they had to proceed as if the shooter was still inside the apartment, and this delayed their entry into that apartment by 20 minutes. During the trial, Officer Arenas' body cam footage was shown, and it showed them making entry into the unit with a battering ram.
Yeah, it delayed them going inside because they thought, oh my gosh, this is a dangerous scene. It was a lot of confusion going on because people don't usually call the police when they committed the crime. And the way he was distancing himself, they didn't know.
Let's go. I can hold it to the shoulders. Fuck, dude. All right, go. 2, 3. One more. I got eyes. Hit it low, underneath the handle. One more. Stand by. Okay, sorry, go back. You got it clear. Oh shit, we got 2 down. Emergency entry, I need a team. You got 3. Hey, bathroom's clear. Slow down. I already cleared. Clear that room right there. Bathroom's clear. I got it. I gotta close it. All right, room's clear.
After determining both victims were indeed deceased, the officers cleared each room in that apartment to make sure that the shooter wasn't hiding inside. Now, during the trial, Ali once again did his tearless crying while he watched the police break into his old apartment and find the bodies of his wife and Ray. Police quickly discovered that the murder weapon was missing, which meant they were looking for a shooter. And I'm only adding this because they had to rule out a murder and then self-inflicted death because of what Ali had insinuated during the 911 call. Again, him causing a lot of confusion. But thanks to the neighbor, Carolina, the officers placed a be on the lookout for Ali Abulaban and his black Jeep Wrangler. Police finally traced his cell phone and pulled him over within 25 minutes. And during that 25-minute car ride with her father, Amira listened to Ali talk both to his mother and his father, explaining that he had killed her mom. Can you even imagine when she asked if her mother was dead? Ali callously explained she was dead because she had cheated on him. Like, that is literally disgusting to me.
The neighbor, Carolina's husband, Daniel, also testified against Ali. He told the jury about an incident when Ali had asked to use Daniel's phone to FaceTime with his wife, Anna. Ali had been using other people's phones in hopes of having Anna answer since she had blocked him. Before Ali returned the phone to Daniel, he went to the call log and made sure to delete Anna's number. Daniel thought that this was odd behavior, and Ali was so paranoid and jealous that he didn't want any other man to have Anna's number.
Even some random guy from next door that he asked to use his phone. Wow.
Ali also asked Daniel to keep an eye on his apartment and let him know if any men ever came to visit his wife.
That sounds like another case we did, and I can't remember which one, but it kind of reminds me of Becky Bleefnick, yes.
On the day of the murder, Daniel ran into Ali in the elevator and asked him if he had time to catch up. Ali screamed at him to stop fucking asking me questions.
Wow, can you imagine? You don't even know this guy. And also, like, who asks a neighbor, hey, keep an eye out on my apartment, tell me if my wife has anyone over. Like, I don't even know you.
He said Ali had never shown him that side before, so he just got off the elevator and went into his apartment.
Daniel's wife, Carolina, who you already heard from, told him that she had just heard 6 gunshots and she was really worried and she wanted to call the police. But Daniel wanted to go down to the lobby and see if he could find Ali first and ask him about the shots. Instead, he ends up running into police who who mistook him for Ali. So that's how that happened.
And another man who lived in apartment 3503 named Chandler Haddix testified that he had installed a Nest doorbell camera facing out to the hallway from his apartment. It also faced the elevator bay where you would exit the building.
This meant that anyone exiting that floor would have to use that hallway where his camera automatically recorded whenever it picked up sound or movement.
And on October 21st, it caught Ali in the hallway. And what he is caught saying is chilling.
I just like to burn to everyone else. I just like to burn. I can't see everyone else. I have to go to school. I have to go to school. She's there. There's a wish. I don't know. I'll see everyone else. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
What you just heard, that was Ali in the hallway confessing to killing Anna and Ray to his mother. Chandler further testified that while he had seen Anna and Ali many times, he did not know them personally. He said that he would occasionally hear arguments and screaming coming from the Abulaban apartment every few weeks. He also observed the police arriving at that apartment on at least 2 prior occasions before the murder. He described the things he heard as what sounded like large items being thrown around, as well as adults screaming and arguing. On the day of the murders, he heard loud banging noises and assumed it was the couple up the hallway. He didn't recognize the sounds as gunfire. When he reviewed the Nest camera video later, he noticed Ali pacing the hallway several times between 9 and 11 a.m. And then he saw Ali leave and return at 3 p.m. and again walk up and down the hallway talking with someone. Now, we told you a little bit about Anna's friend Claire. Well, she testified that she had known Anna and Ali for about 2 years. She met them both in San Diego and noticed that Ali's behavior towards his wife had become controlling, and he would hurt her physically in the past.
The first, I would say, timeline that, we've met, it was just a normal couple. And then as I get to know them a little bit more, it progressed, and I found some times where he would control Anna, and would say some remarks to more degrade her in a way in front of her friends and also her daughter. So progressively, it also went into the fact that when she moved to me in my house, there were some instances where I would see that Anna would have bruises around her face.
Okay, you said that the defendant would control Anna. What do you mean by that?
He would just tell Anna what, in simple things like what to wear, where to go to, who to be around with, every little things, I would say.
Who would the defendant tell Anna not to be around?
I do not remember, but it's just different people.
Would it be males?
Yes.
And did the defendant tell Anna any specific males not to be around?
I do not recall.
When you said that the defendant would degrade Anna in front of Amira or her friends, what do you mean by that?
So he would say something about her looks. And something about no one's gonna like you. So those are the instances that I recall.
It's sad that Ali constantly belittled Anna, telling her she was ugly and unlovable. And I would be so broken if someone that I loved said that, and he insisted she would never find another man who cared for her. Well, what does he mean, another man? Because if caring about someone is calling them names and making them feel small and meaningless, I mean, that's not what you do to someone you love.
In moments of desperation, Anna would leave Ali, taking their daughter Amira with her to stay at her friend Claire's house. But Ollie's toxic grip didn't loosen. He would stalk Anna, threatening her to return or risk him taking their daughter away. Anna confided in Claire about the physical pain she endured at Ollie's hands, showing her bruises on her face and neck. Anna was upset that Ollie regularly hit her in front of their daughter. And despite the violence, Anna often went back to him, holding on to the hope that things could be mended, hoping for a better version of the family she so desperately wanted to keep intact.
It was the whole reason she came to the US. It was to have the American dream. And Ali promised that he would be a husband that she always wanted and a great dad to their daughter. And Claire testified that on several occasions, Ali would strike Anna right in the face, take her phone, her wallet, and the apartment fob, the key fob, and kick her out of their house. Those were the times when Claire would pick her up and take her and Amira home for refuge. Each time Anna returned to Ali, Claire became more and more concerned for Anna's safety. She recalled at least 3 occasions when Anna would move into her home and then move out again with Amira and go back to Ali. And each time she returned in tears because she could no longer take his drug-fueled rages and physical mistreatment. On the last occasion, Anna moved out because Ali had confessed that he had sex with a 19-year-old girl named Ashley Sanchez that lived in their apartment building that he met in the elevator.
During that time, Anna and Amira had stayed at Claire's for almost a month, and a few days before her death, Anna and Amira had just moved back into the apartment at the Spire building because Ali allegedly wanted continuity for their child.
Lies. It was to monitor Anna.
But he told Anna she and Amira could move back into the apartment, and he could move out, which he did. Ollie went to stay at the hotel nearby with zero intention of being gone for very long.
Yeah, just tricking her because he needed to know where she was at all times. And wait till you hear more about how he did this.
And Ashley Sanchez testified that she had met Ollie on an emotional, turbulent day in that elevator. She explained that she and Ollie had slept together a month before the murders, and that Ollie enticed her back to his apartment where the two engaged in consensual relations.
Ashley said that before their encounter, Ollie asked her to take a shower and use a body wash that belonged to Anna. She said she felt really strange about him insisting on her using this, like girly smelling wash that clearly belonged to Ollie's wife, Anna. She just had this gut instinct that he wanted her to smell like his wife. And after the shower, Ali began showing her his TikTok account to impress her with all the engagement he was getting and how famous he was online. He wanted her to know he was a big deal. A few weeks later, he called Ashley to warn her that Anna knew they had slept together.
He was telling me that his wife found out and was asking, if hypothetically, if she were to call me, would I lie for him? And telling me not to, what am I gonna say? And he was just freaking out, he was talking really fast and just being like, she found out, and was just, pressing me.
Did the defendant tell you how his wife found out?
No.
So, is this how the defendant starts the conversation? He calls you, you pick up, and he immediately starts telling you that his wife found out?
I think he was texting me before that because I wasn't really answering, and then he was telling me in text that she found out, and then I answered the call, and then he was telling me again through call.
Okay, so in the text messages, what do you remember him saying to you?
I remember him just telling me that, and then the rest of it happened through phone call. The rest of it was him just basically telling me that, she might call me, and if she calls me, what am I going to say? And I was kind of like, well, it's not my problem. I didn't know anything, so... Yeah.
So when the defendant called you and asked if you would lie to his wife, what was he specifically telling you to say?
I think he was just trying to tell me not to tell her that we did anything at all.
Ollie demanded that Ashley lie for him and deny that they were together if Anna reached out. And Anna did reach out. She called the 19-year-old over the phone. Anna told her she wasn't upset, but needed to know the truth. At first, Ashley minimized their encounter due to the fear of Ali. She described a look on Ollie's face when they had been intimate, which frightened her.
Yeah, she thought he was erratic and dangerous and didn't want to get involved. But later, she was worried about Anna, so they spoke again. And the next time, she told Anna the truth. In a text message to her, she said, quote, "Hey, yeah, I'm not going to even cap at all. And I pray Ali doesn't ever hit me up or get mad at me. But he did give me a massage and did foreplay. But we didn't actually Sorry I wanted to say this the first time, but I was still scared because, like, I don't really know Ali like that or what he's capable of. And I didn't want to get him mad when he knows where I live, you know? End quote.
A few days later, Ollie texted Ashley when he discovered that she and Anna were following each other on Instagram. Again, he wanted to know what she had told Anna and asked if they were friends now.
Yikes. I'm sure that he was pissed about that. It's like his pawn switched sides and started playing a game against him.
How did you feel about that?
I felt bad, but I was also kind of scared because he sounded really like not aggressive, but just kind of like his voice was just very different. Like who I was talking to in that moment was like very different from who I was talking to when I first met him.
Okay, so you said his voice was aggressive?
Yeah, or he was just very panicked and was like, "You're going to lie for me, right? You're going to lie." And I was like, okay.
So when the defendant asked you to lie for him, what was your response?
I don't remember if I told him I would or not, but I was definitely like scared too. And when she called me and I did ask the first time, I did withhold a lot of information.
Why were you scared to tell his wife?
He just sounded scary. And then from like that first time that I met him and stuff, after I had really like processed everything and remembered like those chunks of the night when like he would talk about his wife and like just kind of the way that he looked, like he just had a look on his face sometimes when he would get upset. It just like kind of all came back to me, and just from the way he was talking, I was like, I don't know what this man is capable of, and he sounds really aggressive and he knows where I live, so I was really just nervous.
Okay, and so when you said that when you were with him physically on September 15th, you said he had a look that was scary to you?
Yeah, like when he would get like upset talking about how his wife would go partying with her friends and stuff, or like when he would talk about how he would do anything to keep his kid, like his demeanor was a little bit like, it was just different, you know, like his eyes would get really big and he just would look a little scary.
Yeah, I would be scared. But why even get involved with him to begin with? I understand an impressionable 19-year-old, she's still a teenager, but she lived in the same building. It's not like he was impressing her with that, but I don't know, maybe it was his internet fame. I mean, he's also a married man. Not passing judgment, but just kind of curious why you would even go to his apartment to begin with. And next, Ali's cousin Anthony Elias testified against Ali. He was a prosecution's witness. He told the court that he and Ali were close as children, but grew apart as they became adults. Ali called him in 2021 to discuss his marriage with Anna. And in fact, Anthony had never even met Anna nor talked to her on the phone, but on October 1st, of 2021, he exchanged text messages with Ali regarding the state of his marriage, but there was a catch.
So when you read the message that I saw Anna with another man, did you have any knowledge about whether or not they were separated at the time?
No.
You did not have any such knowledge?
No, I didn't know they were separated.
Okay. So when you saw that text message from the defendant, were you surprised?
Yes.
Okay. Because in your mind, you thought that he and Anna were still together.
Right.
And did the defendant send you a text message that says, "I'll beat his fucking ass"?
Yes.
Okay. And did the defendant at the end of this conversation text you, "I'll kill him"?
Yes.
And you're exchanging messages back and forth about this man that the defendant saw Anna with.
Correct.
And you were responding to him? Or were you just being supportive of him?
Yes.
Because you thought that they were still together?
Yes.
And he didn't tell you anything about the fact that she had left him?
No.
Right? You didn't know that?
No.
And did the defendant tell you anything about the fact that he had already had sex with another woman?
No.
Before that time?
No.
Okay. So you didn't know any of the background about the status of their marriage, right?
No.
Ollie actually asked his cousin to call Anna and pretend to be a waiter named Randy from the La Jolla Cove restaurant, calling to inform her that they found a debit card on her table and they can't read the name on it. He wanted his cousin to trick Anna into revealing the names of the people at the table to see if they matched the name on the fictitious debit card.
That's kind of amateur. I mean, why wouldn't you say like, hey, one of you left a card, it's here, come get it?
I think most people would just say that.
Exactly. That's why it's like, I don't know who would fall for that. But Anthony said he would help. but never made any phone calls. He didn't want to get involved in his cousin's marriage. And a few hours later, Ali texted his cousin again and asked him to call Anna and tell her that Ali saw you with another man and was going crazy. And in a text from Ali to his cousin, he said, quote, "If she calls, just say, listen, I know you don't want me in your business, but Ali thinks he saw you with another man and he's going crazy. I'm scared he might hurt himself. Please just fucking work with him and settle things because he hasn't moved on. You could at least help him understand that it's really over instead of ignoring him for days while he's losing his mind. Talk to him and settle this. You are hurting his mental status by avoiding him. Help him move on and don't abandon him. He can accept a separation, but he just needs to fucking absorb it and hear it from you face to face. You owe that to him, at least, Anna." End quote. I keep thinking about this because it's going to come up again. When you are separated, and this might be different for every different couple, and you can tell me what you feel like. I understand they're legally married, like on paper. But when someone says, I'm over it, I'm over you, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving, I don't want to be with you, I want a restraining order against you, like all those things, the relationship is essentially over. I understand on paper it's like you're still married, but I almost feel like it's none of his business what she's doing, who she's hanging out with. It's like the relationship is over, but he considers it, I need to know. Like, tell me if you're dating someone, tell me what you're doing. What do you feel like?
I feel that titles are just something that we put a ring on it or something. It doesn't really mean anything unless you put meaning behind it. And that paper is really just for tax purposes anyways.
And the meaning is gone once two people are in this volatile relationship. And so I just wanted to make that point because again and again, he acts like, oh, it's because she won't tell me. She won't tell me. It's like, tell you she's left. She's been gone a month at a time, taking the daughter, leaving you. What do you need? And really, he was just trying to pry into who she was with because he's so jealous. That's what I see it like.
So Ali wanted his cousin to tell Anna that he was concerned that Ali might hurt himself to try to manipulate her into coming back to him. And again, Anthony declined to make this call. He didn't take it seriously, and he didn't believe that Ali was at risk of harming himself. At the time, he had no idea that Anna and Ali were separated, or that Anna had told Ali she didn't want to stay married to him any longer. He hasn't talked to his cousin since that day, and that was just a little over 2 weeks from the day of the murders. And on October 21st, the day of the murders, Anna called her apartment manager, Alexandra Tarrant. She wanted to know how to remove Ali from the apartment lease. She also wanted to see if she could get access to the dumpster in the building. Anna told Alexandra that Ali had broken into her apartment and thrown several expensive designer purses down the trash chute, along with other personal items. Alexandra explained that the trash was immediately compacted and that entering the facility would be dangerous and impossible.
She said that Anna sounded resigned to her fate, as though this was a regular occurrence of Ali destroying her things. And wow, that's a really shitty thing to do to someone. He's nasty, but I'm sure he's going to say something like, I bought those for you, so I can destroy them if I wish.
Right. The property manager remembered being surprised at how calm Anna seemed about the whole thing. Anna told Alexandra that she wasn't sure how Ali entered the apartment because she thought he had turned the keys in. Alexandra informed her that Ali must have lied because he had never turned in the keys to her apartment.
Wow, and that must have felt really violating and scary. No wonder she wanted Ray to come over because I'd be terrified if he still had access to my home. Now, Detective Ricardo Escalante testified that they found several disturbing messages from Ali to Anna leading up to the day she was murdered. The messages were, in his words, explicit, vile, and disparaging. Ali called Anna the B word, the W word, and the C word, and also a cheater. And Detective Escalante said that Ali had conducted several alarming internet searches on the day of the murder. They included chopped bodies and decapitated heads. He also searched for how to dispose of two bodies and for large trash bags. Wow, that's crazy. I would be like, lock him in prison, never let him out. I mean, what else do you need? Why would somebody be searching that? But oh, he's going to tell you reasons why he did. He will. To me, that's so premeditated. And to think he was going to possibly cut them up. I mean, that is heartbreaking and disgusting. Now, Ali's mother testified for the defense, even blowing a kiss to her son as she took the witness stand. She said that her son had called her on the day of the murders and told her that he just shot and killed Anna and the guy that she was with. Now, we heard that call on the camera footage and we showed you that earlier. But Ali said, quote, "I just shot and killed Anna. She was with another guy at the apartment. I just shot and killed them both. I killed Anna. I killed Anna. I shot her in the head. I killed them. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom." Here's what his mother said on the stand.
21st, you received a phone call from Ali, is that right? Yes. And he called you after the shooting happened, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall talking to him on the phone?
I just recall saying, that's not funny. That's not funny, Ali. Don't say that. That's not funny. And then I received the picture. I looked and I deleted it right away. And I hung up the phone and I literally fell on the ground.
Ali's mother, Dalal, told Ali to stop saying he killed Anna and that it wasn't funny. Then she received a photo from Ali showing Anna and Ray dead on the couch. Dalal said she immediately deleted the photo, hung up, and fell to the ground crying. After this, his mom testified that Ali's father had been cruel and would use physical violence against her and her children.
But then it was the prosecutor's turn to ask her some questions about violence. When she was asked if Ali had ever admitted to punching Anna, here's what his mom replied.
The defendant did not tell you that part of the reason he was discharged from the Air Force was because he punched Anna in the face. He didn't tell you that, right?
I don't recall.
Well, Shireen never showed this to you and told you, like, Mom, look what the defendant did to Anna.
I honestly don't recall.
And did Anna tell you about the defendant punching her in the face?
I honestly don't recall.
Did the defendant tell you that he has punched Anna on a number of occasions?
Punch, not the word punch, no.
I know you're trying to protect yourself, but I need you to be truthful with...
I am. I'm being very truthful.
Right.
Absolutely.
Did the defendant tell you that he has punched and hit Anna on a number of occasions?
Not punched. Hit, yes, but not punched.
So he has told you he has hit Anna on a number of occasions?
Yes, but she's also has hit him too.
The defendant told you that he can't hide with forever.
No, he's never said he was going to hide. No way.
Wow, she really said, oh, well, she hit him too. I would call that defending herself. And at the end there, I saw a little bit of Ali's temper come out in his mother. Now we know both his parents must have been combative, even with authority in a courtroom, and I thought that was very telling. His mother also tried to minimize and excuse the violence that Ali committed against Anna, and this was despite an incident in the last year when Ali slapped his own mother, the woman on the stand, across the face when he discovered that she had allegedly been cheating on his father with a man she met on the internet. Wow.
Wow.
He's not violent at all, right? Finally, Ali took the stand in his own defense. And you can add him to the list of Sarah Boone, Alec Murdaugh, Charlie Adelson. But Ali was far worse. If he was looking for sympathy, I don't think anyone could find it for this man.
I love it when perpetrators take the stand.
I mean, yeah, of course he did, right? Of course he wanted to tell a story, and he told his story for hours and hours.
And he started with stories about his past, how he was the oldest son, which he explained is meaningful in Middle Eastern Arab culture. He said in his culture, the oldest firstborn son is supposed to take the place of the father in the home when the father isn't present. However, Ali didn't live up to that responsibility. He said that he was more like his mother, closer to his mother, and this caused friction in his relationship with his violent father. He told the jury that it seemed like his father was constantly mad at everyone and everything, including him. He said his father would grab whatever he could get his hands on in a heated moment and throw it or strike him with it. That includes electrical cables, shoes, belts, or books. He recalled an incident where he wanted his mother to buy him a Star Wars figurine. His father considered it childish, and this enraged him. He punished Ali by striking him with a vacuum cord repeatedly. Ali said you could hear the cables whipping through the air before they touched his body. He described it as some of the worst pain he had ever felt in his life.
Okay, then why go on to hurt other people?
Right?
If you know how bad it is, and he actually did take the place of his father, after all, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He took it one step further, and he even killed. But he continued on the stand and talked about how he was diagnosed with ADHD, which made it difficult for him at times to concentrate and pay attention in school. And for a while, he attended community college, but later joined the military as a means to escape his toxic household.
Ollie explained that he and Anna had been married for about 5 years at the time of her murder and together for 7 years. He told the jury how he met Anna while he was stationed in Japan. He said that when they first met, she had been dating somebody else. Later, he found out that she was actually married to that person. Eventually, she and Ollie began dating, but her friends never really warmed up to him. He said it was Anna that introduced him to party culture and substances. He noted Anna was very social and constantly wanted to go out and be seen.
He said that she required a lot of attention. And I'm like, why does it actually sound like he's describing himself?
Right.
Like he was the one that wanted the attention. He was the one that constantly wanted to be around people and be social. But I think what's interesting is in a lot of stories I've read about this case online, they do paint Ali as like he's the bad guy and Anna was good. And they try to differentiate them by showing how much drugs Ali was doing and how, Anna was trying to hold everything together. But the truth is they both like to party, to be fair. In court, evidence did come out showing things that were happening and that she did like to do substances as well. It wasn't just a one-way street, but that doesn't really matter because what's important is that no matter whether you have a perfect victim, because you never do, you still need justice for that person. So I think that's why a lot of times people's past is not brought up in court because it's not allowed to be, because then it would make the victim look bad when really that's irrelevant to why they were killed. So I just wanted to say that because he's like, oh, well, she got me into the party scene. Well, it's his choice. He's an adult.
Right.
But he said at first he liked her confidence and the way that she held herself, and he admired that she was comfortable in her own skin. That's how he put it. And this was something that Ali had never experienced before in a relationship. An effort to keep up with her. That's why he started doing substances, because of her social personality that he had to keep up with.
And later, he began looking at Anna's friends as obstacles, and there was tension between them. He said they started to get in Anna's ear and tried to convince her that Ollie was going to cheat on her with other women.
Which was true.
And Ollie, all he wanted to know was who was putting these ideas in her head, so he tried to separate her from her friends who were causing him trouble.
You mean trouble, but it's really just them telling her the truth. He's
Right.
calling it trouble. And what's interesting is DV experts outline this type of behavior as a warning sign of coercive control. It's a way to separate their victims from their support system. This usually includes friends, family members, even coworkers that are supportive, anyone who could get in the way of them being able to keep the victim within arm's length.
And Ollie described times with Anna without her friends as beautiful, intimate moments where they talked about their future together. And he agreed that her friends found him controlling.
And they all testified about this during the trial, that he was controlling. I'm sure that he liked those moments without her friends there because it was a time when he felt he could control the narrative.
Yeah, control the narrative and Anna. But he said he was only trying to control negative thoughts.
Yeah, negative thoughts that were being put into her head by her toxic friends. But it was really like, hey, which most of us would do with our friend. Like, hey, I've noticed he hits you. I've noticed he does a lot of
Right.
substances. Like, what are you doing? You have a daughter. But that's toxic, the friendship.
Right. He said that Anna was still a party animal and would stay out all night if he allowed it.
Oh, he had to either allow it or deny it.
He said that there were times at 3 or 4 in the morning when he would ask if they could call it a night, and her friends would become angry with him for taking Anna away. And it was Anna's friends who convinced her that this behavior was controlling.
In truth, he believed it was an act of love to separate her from her friends because he wanted to protect their family. And I'm sitting there thinking, what if he wanted to stay out till 3 or 4?
Right.
Then they could have.
Right.
But it was like, oh, she's having fun. That's the problem.
Right.
It's when he starts seeing independence and happiness.
It really seemed like he just wanted her all to himself.
Exactly. But Ali explained to the jury that he loved Anna and he wanted alone time with her and intimate moments in bed to talk about their day together. But her friends were an impediment to their quality couple times. And I was thinking, you have 24 hours in a day. They live together. I'm sure this wasn't every single night. So you mean to tell me there was no other times you could have had those moments?
Really?
There's no other times. Like when you're making breakfast, you can't have a nice moment about talking about your future. In the car riding somewhere, you can't have, like, why does it have to be in bed at night before 3 a.m. It's odd. It just sounds like a lot of excuses.
Ollie testified that he used a nice and calm tone at the beginning of their relationship, but later, out of frustration, his voice got louder and his demands more insistent.
Another excuse. Like, oh, I was nice. I was nice in the beginning to use a calm voice, but then she got me frustrated.
Right, he would often get frustrated and had a hard time with physical control. Anna's friends had testified that he was physically harming her back when they were still in Japan.
So long before they were married and had a child together. So it wasn't escalating as it went along. I mean, it was.
It was from the beginning.
Exactly. It's true that it was from the beginning of the relationship. It wasn't like he was calm and then he got worse because he was frustrated.
And he admitted putting hands on her, but he used significantly minimizing language, calling them light pushes and slaps.
But Anna's friends testified that he punched her in public.
That's wild.
Exactly. It's insane.
But Ali casually testified that he would never hit her in front of other people like that.
Right. He would only do it behind closed doors, I guess. In his,
But the friends are saying that I saw him punch her in public.
I know. I just find it funny that he's like, I wouldn't punch her in public, only behind closed doors. I mean, that's
Like, we've
essentially
seen
what he's
you.
saying. The implication is that he saved his most violent behavior for when they were in private, which is why he didn't want her friends around.
Yeah.
And he finally admitted to putting his hands on Anna, punching her and pushing her on several occasions. But he insisted that all of that behavior began in San Diego after Anna supposedly started cheating on him. But here's the thing. A forensic analyst went through Anna's phone and they proved that this wasn't true. Ali had been hurting Anna for years. She only began her physical relationship with Ray after she'd been separated from Ali. And she even informed him that she was done with him after he admitted to cheating on her. So he was the one that was truly destroying their family.
And Ollie had a habit of recording his fights with Anna, which were later played for the jury. In some of the recordings, he explained that Amira would try to intervene and even punch him in the leg, demanding that he stop hurting her mom. In one recording, Ollie attacked Anna and then explained to Amira that her mother was disrespectful to him, as if that explained away the physical violence towards her mommy.
Wow. And that's just really sad that she had to witness that. And then he's trying to raise her, as a parent and saying, oh, the only reason I'm hitting her mom's because she's disrespectful.
Right.
That is terrifying. And at the time, Ali's mother lived in Las Vegas and he had a friend in Los Angeles. When the fights were too intense or happening too often, Ali said he would retreat to one of those places to give Anna time to calm down. Anna had to calm down. Ultimately, Anna would take Ali back because of her immigration status.
Right. Ali brought Anna over after she gave birth to their daughter in the Philippines.
And that was a marriage visa. And Anna wasn't aware of her legal rights concerning her immigration status, but it was something that Ali threatened her with regularly. He told her that if she left, he would keep their daughter, send her back to the Philippines, and that would be it. And eventually, these threats weren't enough to keep Anna under his control anymore. Either she got legal counsel or she just knew that the threats were empty. Maybe she didn't even care anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the argument was just getting out of control. It was in front of my daughter. I had noticed that Anna had started to behave. She started saying some very nasty things in front of our daughter, such as, that's not my fucking daughter, that's your fucking daughter. I don't want her anymore.
Let me stop you there. I asked you a very specific question.
Sorry.
We're going to get into the contents of the day. Do you recall having that fight with Anna as you were trying to leave to get she was taking your things out of her suitcase?
Yes, I tried to leave because I wanted to remove myself from this situation.
And you told her that you were trying to leave?
Yeah.
Was she telling you that she was going to be the one to leave?
She said that a few times, but she made no attempt to actually do it.
So I'm going to play for you a video that you recorded. During this time, were you recording most of the interactions that you had with Anna?
Yes.
Why were you doing that?
Anna's behavior had shifted very crazy. I mean, it had gotten to the point that anytime I would want to bring up something or just communicate something with her, she would threaten to call the cops. She would use the fact that I had hit her in the face as a way like, oh, well, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'll just put you in jail. I mean, it was an ongoing thing. So I started recording my interactions with her to protect myself, to have integrity with what actually took place versus what she said versus what I said.
And do you recall on September 8th the day we've been talking about in relation to the day that Anna called the police and that you made the live recording before the police arrived, that you recorded an incident between you and Anna.
You mean the live stream?
No, on your phone. Did you record an interaction that you
Oh,
had
the whole
with
thing?
Anna?
Yeah.
The audio from that recording isn't clear enough to play for you, so we're going to tell it to you here. Ollie admitted to being, quote, coked up that night, and in his coked up mind, he believed it was a good idea to live stream his argument with Anna because he had hit her in the face and she was threatening to put him in jail.
As he was testifying, he sounded so surprised that his wife, who he had just physically harmed, would turn on him and try to have him arrested as if it was an unreasonable act. Like he couldn't imagine that happening.
Right.
And this happened on a night when Anna called the police and later changed her mind about filing charges against him. And what I thought was interesting, and I said we would get to this, is one of the reasons why Ali preferred to be the one to leave after a fight is because it stranded Anna at home with their daughter without a babysitter. He knew as long as Anna was at home, he had more control over her and he could limit her freedom. He didn't want her to leave the apartment out of anger and then go be with friends. So that is so controlling. Oh no, I'll just go. Don't worry. I'm just going to leave. And now she has nowhere to go. She's with her daughter, but he knows, oh, she's just going to be stuck in the apartment.
And some couples will even start fights just because one person wants to go out.
I know. I have seen that as well.
Ollie said that the reason why he wanted to leave was because Anna used to do that and stay out all night.
And there were times where Anna did want to leave and leave her daughter there with Ali because she wanted Ali to feel what she had for the past 6 years.
Right. She wanted to be the one to go and she wanted him to be stuck with their daughter.
Yeah, but it's sad that they were both saying like stuck with their daughter because they're both parents.
Right.
But I understand that a lot of times women do take on more of the caretaking role. And because he was the breadwinner, he was out doing things and they did have normal jobs in the beginning.
But there was one argument between Anna and Ollie a few weeks before the murder where Ollie took Anna's phone, and which prompted her to go to the neighbors and ask to borrow their phone.
Give me my phone back. Ollie, give me my phone back.
Marriott Marquise, that's the fucking place you had the birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going? Lou's gonna be there.
I told you we're going to the hotel, dumbass.
Yeah, this is the
not
after
there.
party, and you're
It's
going.
not there.
Yeah?
Why did you have to bring a kid?
Yeah?
Nobody's there but girls, you stupid fuck.
And where's Luke shows up?
Why would Luke show up?
Why would you sneak up this on me?
So dumb. Oh yeah, you're gonna fucking take a video of me while I'm in here.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me my phone. I'll tell Julia to call security to make sure.
No.
Security can call. Yeah. Yeah.
Because your friends are
Oh,
sneaky.
you don't even know her room number, so. Sorry. Enough, Ollie. Enough! Ollie, enough. You know. Can somebody please help me? Ollie!
Stop.
Leave me the fuck alone!
Stop.
Give me my fucking phone back!
I'll give it to you in 5 seconds.
Give me my phone back!
Close the door.
You're hurting my fucking finger!
No, not.
You're hurting my finger!
Move your finger.
Give me my phone back!
Then move your finger.
No, give me my phone back! Swear to God, if you shut this, my finger is fucking bad.
It's already shut.
Ollie!
Your finger's not in here. Anna, stop. You are out of
You
control.
already broke my phone!
You are out of control.
Give me my phone! You're the one out of control! I'm trying to leave this house!
Yeah, that's not cool.
Give me my phone!
With a bunch of guys?
Give me my phone!
Bunch of guys,
Give
huh?
me my phone! There's no guys! Give me my phone! I'm taking your kid with me.
All right, fine.
This is not fucking healthy, man.
You're not helping. Okay. What?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her. Make sure that I won't let you up.
Ali explained to the jury why the fight escalated. Anna knew that Ali was planning to strand her at home with their daughter to prevent her from going to a friend's birthday party. So Anna had a solution that didn't involve allowing Ali to win. And it's really gross. And I was thinking, this poor woman, she just wanted to go to a birthday party. She just wanted to do something for her friends. And she really didn't have a life before she was killed. And then this monster stole it from her permanently.
She started telling me that she wanted to take my daughter to the party, which that was even stranger to me. Because I knew that if there's going to be guys and women there, that there's going to be drugs and alcohol. That's not a place for a child. So I started barricading the front door, basically saying, "You're not taking my daughter. You're not taking my daughter." She tried to, get past me. I tried to block it, and eventually I pushed her, and she hit her face on the fridge.
Was Mira there?
Yeah. In that moment, after I pushed Anna, my daughter ran up to me and started punching my leg.
Did you hit Amira?
No. I got on my knees and I said, "No, Mama, stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then at that moment, Anna darted out of the front door and banged on the neighbor's door.
After calming down Amira, Ali left the apartment to avoid being arrested. He was sure that Anna was really going to call the police on him that night. After he left, Anna and Amira went to the party with her friends. When Ali didn't see the police surrounding the building, he returned home and realized that Anna had taken Amira to the party. He knew the party was at a hotel, but didn't know the room number. He asked the hotel staff for a key and a room number, but they denied him.
Then he ran into some of Anna's friends in the lobby of the hotel, but they refused to give him the room number.
Good.
I know. And then Ali called the police on Anna for supposedly endangering their daughter because she was at a party with supposedly drugs and alcohol.
He said that the police did conduct a wellness check on Amira at the hotel and determined that she was safe.
At this point, I was thinking he is insane. He is completely out of his mind. You do substances in your own home on live streams in front of kids. So stop it. That is not a real concern. He just could not stand the fact that Anna had her own friends and her own life, and that is why he killed her. It's disgusting. It's seeing it all play out now. Like every step of the way, you can see it in all of his escalation and planning and how he would control the situation.
Shortly after this incident, Anna went to stay with a friend and blocked Ali on her phone, preventing him from contacting her or seeing their daughter.
And usually after about a week, Anna would unblock him. She would start talking to him again, but this time it was different.
Yeah, Anna was serious about leaving him, and Ali stated that he would stay in his apartment all day long just drinking and doing coke and feeling angry. And on and off throughout the next few weeks, Ali had sexual involvement with several other women, including escorts, but didn't consider this cheating.
He wouldn't. Oh no, that's not cheating. Oh no. But I have to call the cops because my wife's at a birthday party. This was during the time that Anna was staying with Claire. And during that time, Anna clarified that her relationship with him was over. She wanted to be free from Ali and considered herself single. Now, unbeknownst to Ali, Anna had been talking to their mutual friend, Ray Barron, and they did begin a relationship. Ali didn't believe the breakup was permanent because she always got back with him. He knew that the only way he could get her back and under his control was to get her to move back into their apartment. That was his first step. The purpose of this was to slowly work his way back into Anna's life, despite her assurances that this time they were indeed through.
As far as Ali was concerned, they weren't through until he said they were. He described their relationship as a constant push and pull. On the morning that Anna was murdered, Ali had groceries and flowers delivered to the apartment, and he was expecting Anna to thank him profusely for this act of kindness. And we'll get into that in a minute, but first, let's discuss Ali's combative and argumentative testimony under cross-examination. There was hostility between Ali and the prosecutor, especially when it came to talking about his second victim, Ray Barron.
First of all, it's okay for Ali to flirt and to sleep with women, but it's not okay for Anna, because this clip right here really going to paint a picture of the way this man operates, and it's so toxic and disgusting. I can't stand even hearing about it and reading these messages that he sent to Anna.
Okay, looking at People's 79, page 16, this was a conversation that you had with another woman named Julia on October 14th, correct? It's not in that packet in front of you. You can just look at the screen. But do you remember me showing these exhibits to the detective?
I do, yes.
Okay. There was a picture of a woman, Julia, that she sent to you?
Correct.
Correct? And you had a full-on conversation with her on October 14th, ending with calling her a goddess?
Yeah.
Your goddess?
Not my goddess. Well,
You said, night, my energy healing goddess of Venus.
yeah, I was being a little, I was joking around, but the primary reason that I was contacting her was she was offering me, she said she was a spiritist, some kind of medium. she had told me, she had reached out to me on Instagram with a voice message. And she says, and I thought this was weird because I don't normally believe in like mediums and spiritists, but she said, I'm being told to tell you that in order for you to get to the next stage of your life, you have to let go of what you're holding on to. And I thought that that was so strange that I immediately gave her my phone number and said, let's talk about this. And so she told me that she does that for a living, where she does energy healing through like FaceTime or any kind of video communications.
You were flirting with this woman on Instagram, correct?
I was, yes.
Okay. And that's okay for you to do, but not Anna, right?
Anna's free to do what she wants to do.
She was free to see Ray.
No, she wasn't.
You just said she was free to do what she wants because you were separated, right?
You asked me if Anna was free to speak to other people.
Okay. But she was not free to speak to other people in your mind, right?
She has plenty of friends. She has plenty of people she can speak to.
I'm not talking about friends. I'm talking about.
If you're talking about a
flirting.
sexual relationship, no.
Can you repeat your
Sorry. If you're referring to a sexual relationship, no.
Okay. You are flirting with another woman, and my question was, you are entitled to do that, but Anna was not entitled to do the same with other men, correct?
I'm not exactly sure if she did that or not.
She wasn't entitled to in your mind, correct?
That's not how I look at it, no.
But that's what you told her. You constantly told her about her being with other men, seeing other men, cheating on you, things like that in October, correct?
My concern was I understood that I had done something terrible multiple times.
But you said those things to her.
And
That's
my
question.
intentions with saying those things to her was, I understand if you need space, you want to stay at your friend's house, but I want to understand, are you going to be seeing some other people? She would never directly answer that question. She would leave me in the loop. She would leave me in some kind of void of confusion. She would tell me often to go talk to other people, and I would argue that. But these like flirtations, conversations, or like Ashley Sanchez, these are moments of my loneliest moments. These are moments where I was hurting and alone, and I'm not sure what the status is of me and Anna's relationship because I'm confused.
But again, you were allowed to do these things, flirt with other women and be with other women, but Anna was not free to do that with other men, correct?
I don't know whether or not she was doing that with other men, but if she did,
in your mind, she was not free to do those things with other men.
I would have preferred if she didn't.
To me, it was interesting how he oscillates between almost two different personalities, and they're both talking. Yes, she's free to do whatever she wants. No, she wasn't. It's like he went in the same breath, he went back and forth on his own statement.
No.
It's odd. And how he explains everything away as innocent. Oh, that woman I was talking to, spiritualist on IG. Oh, and then he was flirting with her, calling her a goddess later. I couldn't help but laugh, and this is serious, but I couldn't help but laugh at him because he's ridiculous when he said, oh, I know I did terrible things multiple times. He was talking about cheating, and he didn't just, we just played it, but he's like, I know I did terrible things multiple times. It's like, you're not sorry at all.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can hurt anybody you want to with no consequences. But when the tables are turned, he has a problem with it. And then there were other taunting messages.
Okay, looking at People's 167, page 13, this was a photograph that you took with another woman on October 15, 2021, correct?
Correct.
And then you rubbed this photograph in Anna's face, correct?
I did.
Yep, you sent it to her, and then you left her a nasty audio message about this woman, correct? Moving on with this woman.
Right. That was when I was in LA at the Comedy Store in Santa Monica Boulevard.
I'm not asking for an explanation. I'm asking you, you sent this to Anna, and you were free to take pictures and flirt with other women, correct?
So I had told Anna that this is somebody that I'm seeing, but that was a blatant lie. I was just trying to hurt her feelings. I was just trying to get under her skin. That is just someone who recognized me and just took a picture. Her boyfriend was right there.
This is another attempt for you to be controlling over Anna, correct?
It's another attempt of me trying to vent my frustration of how things are going between me and Anna.
And often during your marriage to Anna in 2021, you were degrading to her in front of her friends, correct?
No, I would not be degrading to Anna. What I would do is blatantly state if I have a problem with something her friends are doing right in front of them.
You would call Anna ugly in front of her friends?
I would never call her ugly. She's the most beautiful woman to me.
You would tell Anna what to wear and what not to wear, right?
I don't. My fashion is terrible. I love her fashion.
You would tell her what male she could or could not be around, correct?
No, she was around a lot of males that I was hanging out with, but I would tell her if I felt somebody was not someone good that she would talk to. Yes.
You would tell her that she could not go out with other people without you, correct?
No, that's not true.
You actually always had to be with her going out, right?
That's not true. I worked 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. What do you think she was doing at those times? She was out at the gym with her girlfriends, going to get her nails done, going to lunch, taking the daughters to the park. These are things that don't include me.
Going out at night to bars and clubs and other things, you would often tell her that she couldn't go out without you.
I would say that I know that if she were to just go out with her girlfriends, of course she could go out. But I know what the friend group consists of. It is not just girls. It is men that these women are sleeping with. And these are people that I'm supposed to be friends with, that my wife wants me to be friends with. So of course I'm not comfortable me being left out of that. So yes.
His way of so-called dealing with his extreme sadness
It's blatantly cheating.
Right. And then to rub it in her face, trying to make Anna jealous, taking pictures with women, sending it to her. That's not a way to communicate.
Or a way to mend your relationship.
Not at all. How is that venting his frustration?
It's not.
I know, but he's trying to make it seem like, oh, why I sent that picture? It was to communicate. Like I was like, hey, what's going on in our relationship? Here's a picture of a woman.
Now to a text on October 15th, days before the murder.
Sent Anna a text message on October 15th telling her, hope you and Ray enjoy each other, right?
When did I say that?
I'm asking you. I'm not showing you anything. I'm asking you. You sent her that text on October 15th, 2021.
I don't recall that text.
It's not a surprise to you that she and Ray would go out together, right?
Are you kidding me? I had no idea about it.
He was really like, what the fuck? Looking right at the judge. No, he's not going to save you. But that text was to show that he knew about Ray, but he denied it.
Don't you feel like he's his own worst enemy?
He definitely is his own worst enemy. And there was this nasty exchange. And since the prosecutor is going to leave one thing out about the context of this text, we're going to tell you, but let's listen to it first.
Looking in front of you at the packet, 176, page 56. This was a text message series that you sent to Anna on October 15, 2021, telling her, by the way, when I f***ed Nikki, she was on her period, right?
Yeah.
So you were telling Anna that you did, in fact, have sex with Nikki.
Again, this is me just trying to hurt her emotionally.
And you were laughing at her. Ha, 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 ha.
Correct. Because I wanted her to feel somewhat of the pain that I was feeling about our situation, the situation of our relationship.
So yes, he texted Anna and he said that he had sex with Nikki while she was on her period. But the next text that he sent was, you sucked my dick the day afterward. And that's why he's laughing. And I think that that is so humiliating and gross.
He was also searching for escorts again and again in the weeks leading up to killing Anna.
Looking at People's 176, page 59, this is another list of you searching for escorts on October 11th, 2021, correct?
Correct.
So there were at least 4 different dates that you in your phone searched for escorts while you claim to be in love with and married to Anna, correct?
That's not even relevant. My love for Anna doesn't change the fact that I was lonely. I was very lonely. She was not in the house. She was gone. She was confusing me about the status of our relationship. I have needs, but I looked them up, but I never hired one. There's no evidence that I hired one ever.
And then you talked to your friend Gene about getting a prostitute, right?
No, he told me about some massage parlor apparently in San Diego that they go the extra mile if you pay them extra. And
again,
he's the one who told me about that.
This is all okay for you to do.
You have to understand,
Anna.
I was confused about where the hell I was in my relationship. There's nothing wrong with searching this stuff up. I mean, I was lonely. I was freaking out. You got to keep in mind, I'm thinking Anna's out with men. The whole time, I'm thinking she's sleeping around and just not telling me about it. So I was just trying to cope. I'm just trying to I was confused. And all these months was like the most confusing time of my life. I was on drugs 24/7. I wasn't thinking clearly. I'm confused. One minute I'm angry. One minute I'm crying. One minute I love you, Anna, and one minute I hate you, Anna. But it's not, none of that is consistent. I was not in the right frame of mind during this time period.
So again, you're blaming Anna and your cocaine use on you searching for escorts, right?
No, I'm blaming myself in the mindset that I was in and the situation of our relationship. The whole thing was confusing. There was never a point where the only thing I wanted to do with Anna was communicate as to what she wanted to do, or where do we stand? Do you want to be separated? Do you need space? I'll give you space. But does that mean you see other people? She would never answer those questions. She would leave me hanging for days on end, night after
Objection,
night.
narrative.
Oh, the poor baby was lonely and he has needs. But what's confusing? She left. She doesn't love him. She told him it was over. I don't know what's confusing about that. But according to him, there's nothing wrong with searching up escorts when you're married, even though you're mad when you think that your estranged wife is just merely hanging out with a man with her friends. He's a walking contradiction.
How is that going to help communicate to his wife?
I mean, to me, it's clear. She doesn't need to tell him if she's seeing anybody else. We already told you this because it's not his business at that point. She said it was over. She doesn't love him anymore. She doesn't need to tell him anything else.
One would assume that if someone's single, they're going to see somebody else.
Right, but that's not okay because she's married to him in his perspective.
Not in Ollie's perspective, yeah.
I understand the concept of still being legally married, which we talked about before, but divorces take time. Everybody knows that. So legally, in the eyes of the law, they're a couple, but like you said, in her perspective, they're not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She was done.
And while all this is going on, he's searching hours on end about how to plant a listening device on someone's phone.
When you're on your way up in the elevator, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, oh my God, she's probably having sex right now. I wonder who it is. Hurry up, we gotta get up there, But they kept stopping on floor after floor after floor. And I'm trying to stay calm and I don't want to startle anybody. I put a smile on my face, but you can see that I'm constantly pressing the closed door every time we land on a floor. I was trying to prevent more people from coming in because I just wanted to go. I'm thinking that this is happening right now. I need to get there so I can at least hopefully try to prevent it from happening with my presence or get there before it happens.
Because you knew that you put the iPad with the Discord channel on in the bedroom, as you're coming up and getting ready to go into the apartment, what are you expecting to find when you open that door?
Well, I put it in the bedroom because I was trying to catch them having sex. So when I heard their voices loud and clear, my mind thinks they're in the bed doing whatever. So I thought that by entering my apartment, I would have that little leeway from the front door to walk to the bedroom. I thought I'd have that cooling off point to be like, okay, I don't know what I'm about to see. Just calm down. I thought from the front door, I'd be able to just kind of bring myself together a little bit.
An objection to cause for legal competition.
Overruled.
So you were thinking, because you put the iPad in the bedroom, we know from the way your apartment is set up that you would open the door, walk in, there's a kitchen, a little bit of a dining space, and then the couch. And then off to the side of that is the bedroom. Is that right?
It's almost straight ahead, but to a slightly slanted. Yeah.
And so you expected, because of what you were hearing, that they were going to be in the bedroom.
I'm prepped to hear moaning and just very disturbing things.
And so when you walk in, you're expecting that you're going to have time to walk from the front door through the kitchen, small dining area to the bedroom door before you actually see what you are hearing and expecting you're going to find in there.
Right.
When you got off the elevator, what happened next?
As you can see, I was in a hurry to get in there. I didn't even wait for the door to open. I was running. I used my key card. The only thing I had in my hand was my key card. I opened the door. I barged in. I was immediately startled. I stopped right in my tracks like a deer in the headlights. They weren't in the bedroom. They weren't having sex. They're right there, cuddling on the couch.
Let me stop you there for just a second. You said that based on prior times that you had shot this gun, when you had your gun on your belt, in your holster, was it capable of being fired the way that it was at that moment?
No. So when I used to carry conceal, or when I carry conceal, here's the thing with Glocks specifically, that type of firearm, they do not have a safety lever or button which prevents the trigger from being pulled. There's no safety feature on the Glock. That is concerning to me. So I never carry with a round in the chamber, meaning it's not ready to be fired. If you pull the trigger, it's going to go click.
We saw, and you described for us, running off the elevator to the apartment. You had your key card in your hand. You opened the door. You described it as barging in. So you came in and you saw them on the couch.
Correct.
When you saw them, did they recognize or see you?
Well, at first, I saw Anna. I couldn't see who the man was because she was kind of leaning forward a little bit to see who's at the front door. So I see Anna, and then the man leans his head forward. He leans his head forward, his eyebrows arched. I immediately identify him as Ray, and he goes like what's up?
And for the record, you're moving your head and chin sort of up.
Yeah.
In a motion.
Yes, nodding up.
You stated that kind of in the way of saying what's up. Did he say what's up?
No, he did his usual, like, what's up?
What happened next?
I didn't expect that Anna would ever do that to me. Him, of all people. I mean, she knew how I felt about him. She knew how I felt. I was trying to believe her. I was trying to believe that she wasn't cheating on me, that she would let me fix this because I was sick. I was struggling from drugs and mental illness. And I fucked up. I fucked up a lot, but I was trying to fix this. And when I saw that it was him, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the fucking betrayal. I couldn't believe that she could do that to me, to our daughter. And then before I could stop myself, I just fucking snapped. My gun was in my hand, and next thing I'm shooting, and I can't stop. I'm just shooting, and I'm even startled. It's like I'm watching it happen. I'm like I'm in the passenger seat of my own body. I can't stop it, and I hear Anna screaming and crying. And I don't even remember shooting Anna. I just remember running back to the front door, and I grabbed the door handle, and then it hit me. I'm like, did that just happen? And I turn around and I see Anna leaning forward and there's blood. And I'm like, Anna. And I couldn't believe I did that. I don't know. I didn't mean to do that.
He is trying so hard to control this woman that he's trying to record her without her knowledge. And that's why he wasn't finding the results that made sense to him, because he kept saying, oh, every time I looked something up, it was weird because I had to install the app on her device. Well, yeah, because you can't just go recording anybody's phone without their permission. But ultimately, he was able to download Discord on his daughter's iPad. And on Discord, you can start an audio live stream. So anyone that's on the channel at that time can listen. So of course, he put himself in the channel. And he wants the jury to believe that he just came up with this idea in the moment, when all the while, the truth is he's trying to trap Anna in their apartment, and he goes there without her knowledge, plants the iPad. How is that happening in the moment?
No, you had to think about doing that.
Exactly.
And remember we told you about those weird, violent searches that Ollie made? Well, here he is explaining that away.
October 17th of 2021, this is People's 176, page 15. You searched for chopped bodies, correct?
I did.
And you searched for decapitated heads, correct?
Right.
Okay. And the searches that you were doing were at 10:30 p.m. after that dinner you had with Anna, correct?
Do you see where it says decapitated head cartel?
I asked you a question. You did these searches right after that dinner you had with Anna where you punched her in the eye, correct?
I may have, but it's not related to the dinner. This is just me back when I'm at my home, coked out of my mind, reviewing things that I've been thinking throughout the whole month, like what happened with Chris, the text messages I'm getting. So I just happened to think about it. Like, let me see if I can find those damn pictures.
Okay, so it's an hour and a half after you hurt Anna, you were searching chopped bodies, and that was related to something that happened weeks prior?
I don't know the time frame, but those text messages that I got, the same scam, happened to me very recently.
You told us that Chris showed you that scam text when he was visiting at the beginning of October, correct?
It happened in front of me.
Right? But weeks later, you're searching for chopped bodies and decapitated heads.
Because that's when it happened to me. I wanted to see if these are fake. It was pretty scary how they listed the 10 most closest members of my family. So I had an idea it was a scam, but at the same time, I'm thinking, well, maybe I should not take this lightly.
You were mad at Anna after that dinner because she told you over and over again that she did not want to be married to you, correct? You were mad at Anna. Answer the question, please.
I was mad at Anna because she did not want to communicate with me, which was the intention of that dinner. I was hoping to communicate, and she had just, not she, I'll take responsibility. It did not go well. And I tried to talk to her in the car, and she kept telling me to get out, get out, get out, and she threatened to call the cops. That's why I got mad. It wasn't about her saying she doesn't want to be married to me.
You realized that she was not coming back to you, right?
I did not realize that. I just realized she's just being difficult. That's how I took it.
That night, October 17th, you were violent and angry with her, correct?
I became violent at the last second, yes.
And then right after that dinner, you looked up chopped bodies, right?
Again, it's not related. Can I ask, why? What do I get from searching chopped bodies, seeing pictures of chopped bodies? What is that going to do? Teach me how to chop a body?
You're not allowed to ask me questions.
I'm just trying to figure out your mindset, where you're going with this. It's weird, yes, that I would search that up.
Objection, non-responsive.
I'm going to sustain that. All right, remember?
Question.
Answer questions. Thank you.
Sorry.
You looked at multiple different websites on chopped bodies and decapitated heads, correct?
No, I never left Google search results.
You looked at many, many Google images of chopped bodies, correct?
That sounds more like it. I never left Google.
You looked at many, many images of decapitated heads, correct?
Yes, I was looking for specific images that I was getting spam texted.
And make it make sense to me that he says, I stayed on Google. He's fighting with the prosecutor, but you're not realizing that Google's just serving you a bunch of images from different websites. But he's saying, oh, I never clicked through them or something. I didn't understand that. Because what he's saying is, oh, that search result, I never went to any of those places. I looked through Google Images.
But you searched for it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how does this? Like,
Google's not, you're just going to turn on Google and say, here's death.
Oh, you're looking at multiple images of those things, regardless if you're not clicking through. That to me was the worst argument.
But get ready for this. He's about to have an outburst. The prosecutor pushed one of his buttons and he went off.
On October 18th of 2021, you were conducting research on your phone, looking at the profiles of other women, correct?
Okay.
Yes, you were doing that, correct?
Yes.
And on October 18th, you were also researching teen videos, correct?
What? What did you just say?
That's what you were researching, correct?
Say it again?
Teen porn videos.
You're out your mind.
On October 19th, you were researching Sean Torres, correct?
Show me the teen shit you just said. You want to paint me as some kind of fucking child? Show me show me. What you just said. I've never seen that in the Discovery. I've been incarcerated 3 years. You never showed that to my team. Where did you get that?
It's in your phone.
Show it.
You researched Sean Torres on October 19th.
Show me what you just said. We're not going to breeze over that. You're not going to paint me as something I'm not.
You researched Sean Torres on October 19th, 2021, correct?
I don't recall doing that.
On October 20th of 2021, you were looking up Scarface and Breaking Bad, correct?
My favorite movie, my favorite TV show.
Those are shows that involve a lot of shooting and killing, correct?
Sure.
Teen porn videos. Wow. There's the Ali that I'm sure Anna knew very well. And he tried to settle down really quick after that outburst because I think he realized, oh, that's not a good look. Like, I'm proving to the jury, right in front of the jury, he's having this crazy outburst. I couldn't believe it because I haven't seen something like that in a while. And also, he slept with a teen. I mean, I know she was legal age, but she's 19, still a teen. So why would it even be odd if he was looking that up? Because we know he's already doing that in real life. But now we get more into Ray and Ali's assumptions.
Ray never told you he wanted to sleep with Anna, right?
No.
Right? That's just something that you're now telling us, oh, Ray said, is this your bitch? Because you're trying to paint him as a bad guy, right?
No. I actually tried to be his friend. Even after.
And he actually was nice to you, right? He made a comment on your Instagram about someone in your life passing away, and he said sorry for that, right?
I believe so. I also DM'd him one time when he was in Mexico, and he...
Objection, non-responsive.
Same. All right. Just get question, answer, question, answer. Okay?
But what happens when the question is like forcing me to say something specific?
Well, that's part of the question. She's asking specific questions, so just answer the specific questions. Next question.
He clearly doesn't know how court operates. Yes, attorneys are allowed to ask you very specific questions so that they can get a very specific answer that they're looking for. So you're not supposed to give an entire narrative and explain yourself. If you want that, you have to wait till your attorney, who hopefully is listening well enough to pick up that they need to ask you that question and clarify something so that you can tell your side of the story. And he already had his chance. He didn't like that the prosecutor was now objecting to him going on and on when she asked you one question. But let's proceed.
Ray was nice to you in making a comment about someone in your life that had passed away, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you told us yesterday there was no hope with being friends with him, that wasn't true, right? Because he was nice to you.
That was only at one time on social media. I'm talking about in-person interactions. It's a different experience.
You hated Ray from the first night you met him, right?
I did not hate Ray.
Ray disrespected you, right?
Of course.
You don't like being disrespected, right?
No.
After your second trip to San Diego, you hated Ray even more, right?
I did not hate Ray.
You talked about another time where you hung out with him and he didn't want to be your friend, right?
No, I spoke about the second time I saw him at the party. I got him a beer and sat down with him and attempted to have a civil conversation.
Okay. And you didn't like him, though, after that, right?
No, I had decided that he's not interested in a friendship with me. He's interested in Hannah.
Ollie believed that Ray didn't want to be friends with Ollie. He was more interested in Anna, but Anna belonged to Ollie. Ollie thought that every male in Anna's orbit was about to sleep with her.
In the case of Ray, he wasn't exactly wrong, but this was after many other things had transpired that were of Ollie's doing.
After Anna had decided to leave Ollie permanently, she began an intimate relationship with Ray that started out as a friendship. Ollie suspected Anna had moved on with someone, but he couldn't prove it. He needed to get Anna back to the apartment to either prove his suspicions or force a reconciliation. The prosecution wanted to establish that Ollie's violence was escalating and that Anna was coming to an end with her ability to forgive him.
And to prove that, they were talking about this altercation that happened back in July, which was only a few months before the murder. Now, Ali's sister, Shireen, was visiting, and she and Anna were both concerned after the altercation that Ali could have killed Anna. But of course, Ali felt that this was an exaggeration by two hysterical women. Again, sexist, right? He's like, oh, these are just two crazy biatches, Like, I wasn't going to kill anyone. There were pictures of this. We're inserting them here. This is Anna's face after what happened to her.
So July 21st, 2021, you caused those injuries to Anna's face, right?
I did.
Okay. You gave her a huge bump on her face, right?
Yes.
Gave her cuts near her eye.
Yes.
And then days later, her whole face turned black, right?
No.
You saw her a day or two later, right?
It didn't turn black, but it looked like that.
Yeah, so she still had injuries, right?
Yes.
Her face was swollen.
Yes.
Your sister, Shireen, wanted to call 911, right?
I believe so.
And you told her not to, right?
I offered to leave instead.
You told your sister, Shireen, not to call 911 after you punched Anna in the face, right?
I did.
Okay. And you told Anna not to call the police too, right?
I believe so.
Because you didn't want to be arrested, right?
Right.
You deserved to be arrested for what you did, right?
Sure.
But you didn't want it to affect your life. That's what you testified to yesterday, right?
It was a sudden thing. And
Mr. Boulevard, answer the question, please. You didn't want this conduct to affect your life, right?
I didn't want it to have permanent implications, yes.
Right. So Anna did not call the police based on your prodding, right?
I can't confirm that.
Right. She should have called the police.
Sure.
And 911.
Yes.
But you convinced her not to.
I don't know if I convinced her, but I certainly asked her not to.
Right? And you often did that. You would convince her not to call 911 or the police to report your violence, right?
Yes.
Because you did not want to take responsibility for any of your conduct, right?
I just didn't think it needed to go there with legal. I took responsibility in the sense that I immediately apologized and I was willing to work away, get past it. But
Oh, so an apology by you makes everything okay, right?
no, but it's a start.
So Ali went on to explain that not only was he diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but he also had aspects of narcissism. Ali also announced on the stand that he was previously diagnosed with emotional impulsivity during a neurodiagnosis with a chiropractor back in Virginia who conducted a series of non-traditional mental health evaluations on him.
And Ali would continually blame his previously undiagnosed mental health disorders coupled with his addiction and substance use as the cause for his violent actions, including the days of the murder.
But if you know that you have the capability of getting to that point, you might want to stop doing it. You might want to go get help. And on the morning of the murders, Ali sent Anna a heartfelt video. Well, in his mind it was, right? He was asking her for a reconciliation and telling her that he was sending her groceries for the week. He also included a dozen red roses, hoping that this would manipulate her into giving him another chance to work on their marriage.
Anna texted you at about 7:50 that morning, thanking you and saying that she had listened to your video. Remember that?
Yes, but I'm not sure she was thanking me for the groceries yet.
I'm sorry. The message is thank you and I listened to your video.
Right, that's at some point she acknowledged the video I had sent.
And she told you at 7:50 a.m., I'm glad you finally understand.
Yes.
Then at 7:51, she said thanks for the groceries.
I forgot to mention, I also added roses in that order of groceries.
Why is that important?
It's extremely important because I wanted her to know that I love her and...
Objection, non-responsive to the question.
Go ahead, finish your answer.
Thank you. I included the roses because I wanted her to know it was more than just me being a parent. I wasn't just getting groceries to be a parent. It was just, this is me showing you I want to step up, take care of my family again.
Ali's roses were not a simple gesture of affection. They came with heavy expectations. He was frustrated when Anna didn't respond to them the way that he had imagined. In his mind, the roses were meant to wipe away the years of mistreatment, and he believed Anna should immediately forgive him upon receiving them.
If flowers could do all that, no one would need communication, therapy, or actual change in their lives. And for that matter, no one would have to be a kind person to begin with if everything could be cured with a dozen roses.
Right, all roses do is they look pretty, then they die.
But he was expecting her to be like, oh my gosh, you got me roses. Like, the relationship's over.
Right, when Anna acknowledged the groceries and not the roses, Ali became furious. His anger escalated and he headed to her apartment. And that morning, Ali admitted to using what he called many bumps of cocaine, estimating that he had already consumed about 1 gram.
The cocaine had started to take effect. My anxieties, my worries, the same things that I'm worried about were starting to come back to me. This is not normal behavior from Anna. These are the thoughts that I was having. This is not normal behavior. She's being shady. Why didn't she say anything about the roses? I have to go talk to her. Because keep in mind, I'm thinking I'm about to hit the road for 4 hours to go to LA. So I wanted to just... Well, first of all, my intention was just to do something nice with the roses. But now I'm having suspicions about her reaction. So now I just wanted to talk to her just before I go.
Is that what led you to go to the apartment that morning?
That is.
When you got to the apartment, what did you do?
Well, I first noticed that a portion of the groceries were still sitting on the floor outside the front door, including a case of water.
When Ollie entered that apartment, Anna had not yet returned from dropping Amira off at school. The groceries were still unpacked with milk left on the counter, and Anna's makeup bag sat open, crushing the roses he sent her. To Ollie, this was a clear sign that Anna didn't care about his romantic gesture.
And when he saw her makeup out, it made him suspect that she was trying to impress another man. I mean, she could have been doing anything. She could have been going out for lunch with her friends. Like, women wear makeup for many reasons, not to just impress a man. And he became convinced that she was with someone else at that moment. When he called her, she actually lied and said that she was at home because, again, not his business. And that's when his suspicions deepened and his mind began racing with thoughts of betrayal. And he was so enraged that he trashed the groceries, he scattered the roses across the room, and he vandalized the apartment that he used to share with her, throwing away those expensive handbags that we talked about and her makeup down the trash chute. Makeup is expensive too.
Yeah.
Now, in his growing paranoia, as he was describing, he then decides to use the Discord app on his daughter's iPad that's going to allow him to listen in to live conversations, which was voice activated. So he plugged in the device underneath the bed to make sure that it wouldn't lose power. Then he returned to his hotel room saying that he was attempting to sleep. But then why are you on a listening device that's live and then going to bed? It only live streams. It's not recording. So you would have to be there to listen. So
Right.
I call BS.
But he claimed he was startled awake by the sound of a man's voice coming from his phone. He realized it was someone inside the apartment with Anna. So Ollie prepared for confrontation. And he said he took 5 or 6 bumps of cocaine.
He was acting like, oh, I heard a stranger and I was going there to beat him up, like because he was concerned for her safety.
At some point, do you remember being woken up?
I do.
What is the first sort of memory you have as you're waking up? What are you hearing?
I woke up and I hear giggling. I hear a man laughing. And then I hear Anna's voice. And I'm half asleep and I'm just absorbing all this. And then immediately I'm like, oh my God, that's Anna. Oh my God, who's that man? Who's that man? Oh my God, there's a man. I'm saying this out loud to myself, freaking out. I mean, I feel like I caught Bigfoot or something. Like, you believe he's there, but you don't have the truth. But then now there's this evidence, and it's just like I'm freaking out. So.
What did you do next?
I quickly put my pants back on. I gathered my keys. I grabbed my Coke. I started to do a couple bumps because I knew, okay, there's a man in my house. I need to be focused because I want to be in the zone here. You know what I mean? Because I was still half asleep. So I was just slamming back some Coke and, yeah.
How much coke do you think you did in that moment?
I want to say 4 or 5 bumps consecutively.
How much is a bump in your usage, if you know?
It's like a tiny little, but it's effective.
Do you think it totaled half a gram that you used there?
Or maybe even a gram.
When you said that you got up and kind of were gathering your things and put on your pants, at this time, were you always carrying your gun on your holster on your belt?
I had been for the last few days.
Now, this is crucial testimony for Ali's defense. The defense needs to establish that Ali was already in the habit of carrying a gun and he had it on him and that he used it in a crime of passion. They needed to disprove the prosecution's theory that this was premeditated, as evidenced by the fact that Ali ran into the apartment building lobby and then returned to the Jeep to retrieve something. And next you can see him run back into the building and enter the elevator.
And then there's video footage of him adjusting the gun on the waistband of his pants as if he just tried to put it there for concealment.
Right. And to prove premeditation, the prosecution believed this demonstrated that he intentionally went back for the gun to shoot Anna and the man that he heard on the app.
But Ollie testified that he had to take it to Los Angeles and had been wearing it on him for the past few days.
He said that he went back to the Jeep to get his key card and not the gun. This type of testimony could possibly be the difference between first-degree murder and that manslaughter charge.
What were you hearing as you were driving over to the apartment?
So I'm already like freaking out, high out of my mind. I'm already amped up. I'm driving over 90 miles an hour in an attempt to hurry up and get there so I could hopefully catch it before it happens or, stop it with my presence because I just didn't want it to happen. I was hearing, I heard that they were making fun of me. He was like, did Ali make this mess? I didn't know who he was. He's like, did Ali make this mess? She says, yeah, and he bought me these cheap-ass flowers. Let me just tell you, when you hear your wife talk shit about you to an undisclosed man, that's fucking painful. And this is while I'm driving 90 miles an hour, already like freaking out. But then what happened was the voices stopped. Suddenly there was silence, and I'm like, what? Why don't I hear anything? Why'd they stop talking? Next, I start hearing R&B music playing.
So Ali alleged that he heard Anna insulting his flowers and mocking him to another man, and this was a level of disrespect he couldn't tolerate. Given his upbringing and his undiagnosed mental illness, he couldn't regulate his thoughts or emotions. He was running on pure rage.
When you're on your way up in the elevator, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, oh my God, she's probably having sex right now. I wonder who it is. Hurry up, we gotta get up there. But they kept stopping on floor after floor after floor. And I'm trying to stay calm, and I don't want to startle anybody. I put a smile on my face, but you can see that I'm constantly pressing the closed door every time we land on a floor. I was trying to prevent more people from coming in, because I just wanted to go. I'm thinking that, this is happening right now. I need to get there so I can at least hopefully try to prevent it from happening with my presence, or get there before it happens.
Because you knew that you put the iPad with the Discord channel on in the bedroom, as you're coming up and getting ready to go into the apartment, what are you expecting to find when you open that door?
Well, I put it in the bedroom because I was trying to catch them having sex. So when I heard their voices loud and clear, my mind thinks they're in the bed doing whatever. So I thought that by entering my apartment, I would have that little leeway from the front door to walk to the bedroom. I thought I'd have that cooling off point to be like, okay, I don't know what I'm about to see, just calm down. I thought from the front door I'd be able to just kind of bring myself together a little bit.
An objection is possible legal condition.
Overruled.
So you were thinking, because you put the iPad in the bedroom, we know from the way your apartment is set up that you would open the door, walk in, there's the kitchen, a little bit of the dining space, and then the couch. And then off to the side of that is the bedroom. Is that right?
It's almost straight ahead, but to a slightly slanted. Yeah.
And so you expected, because of what you were hearing, that they were going to be in the bedroom.
I'm prepped to hear moaning and just very disturbing things.
And so when you walk in, you're expecting that you're going to have time to walk from the front door through the kitchen, small dining area to the bedroom door before you actually see what you are hearing and expecting you're going to find in there.
Right.
When you got off the elevator, what happened next?
As you can see, I was in a hurry to get in there. I didn't even wait for the door to open. I was running. I used my key card. The only thing I had in my hand was my key card. I opened the door. I barged in. I was immediately startled. I stopped right in my tracks like a deer in the headlights. They weren't in the bedroom. They weren't having sex. They're right there, cuddling on the couch.
Let me stop you there for just a second. You said that based on prior times that you had shot this gun, when you had your gun on your belt, in your holster, was it capable of being fired the way that it was at that moment?
No. So when I used to carry conceal, or when I carry conceal, here's the thing with Glocks specifically, that type of firearm, they do not have a safety lever or button which prevents the trigger from being pulled. There's no safety feature on the Glock. That is concerning to me. So I never carry with the round in the chamber, meaning it's not ready to be fired. If you pull the trigger, it's going to go click.
You saw and you described for us running off the elevator to the apartment. You had your key card in your hand. You opened the door and described it as barging in. So you came in and you saw them on the couch.
Correct.
When you saw them, did they recognize or see you?
Well, at first, I saw Anna. I couldn't see who the man was because she was kind of leaning forward a little bit to see who's at the front door. So I see Anna, and then the man leans his head forward. He leans his head forward, his eyebrows arched. I immediately identify him as Ray, and he goes like what's up?
And for the record, you're moving your head and chin sort of up.
Yeah.
In emotion.
Yes, nodding up.
You stated that kind of in the way of saying what's up. Did he say what's up?
No, he did his usual, like, what's up?
What happened next?
I didn't expect that Anna would ever do that to me. Him, of all people. I mean, she knew how I felt about him. She knew how I felt. I was trying to believe her. I was trying to believe that she wasn't cheating on me, that she would let me fix this because I was sick. I was struggling from drugs and mental illness. And I fucked up. I fucked up a lot, but I was trying to fix this. And when I saw that it was him, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the fucking betrayal. I couldn't believe that she could do that to me, to our daughter. And then before I could stop myself, I just fucking snapped. And my gun was in my hand, and next thing I'm shooting, and I can't stop. I'm just shooting, and I'm even startled. It's like I'm watching it happen. I'm like I'm in the passenger seat of my own body. I can't stop it, and I hear Anna screaming and crying. And I don't even remember shooting Anna. I just remember running back to the front door, and I grabbed the door handle, and then it hit me. I'm like, did that just happen? And I turn around, and I see Anna leaning forward, and there's blood. And I'm like, Anna. And I couldn't believe I did that. I don't know. I didn't mean to do that.
So you mean to tell me he's arguing that he heard her making fun of him for flowers when they're already broken up, and this is enraging him enough to think, this is level of disrespect I'm not going to tolerate, so I'm going to go kill you? Right. That's essentially what he's saying.
It's wild. I mean, he's more disrespecting himself from not moving on, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right, but one of the critical components of Ollie's defense was his out-of-control addiction, which he used to mask his undiagnosed bipolar disorder, combined with his underlying narcissistic traits. His defense believed that this may have created a dangerous psychological cocktail that led to the tragic murders of Anna and Ray.
So individuals with bipolar disorder can experience extreme mood swings ranging from manic highs to depressive lows, and during a manic episode, they may exhibit impulsivity, heightened emotions, and erratic decision-making. In Ollie's case, this may have intensified his feelings of paranoia and emotional instability, particularly when faced with the reality of his marriage falling apart. But it doesn't excuse what he did. And just because someone is suffering from a mental health condition like bipolar does not mean that they're in a murderous state of mind. Many people struggle with mental health conditions, and I don't want it to be an excuse for someone's choice. Of course, it can be a factor, and maybe his entire mindset was the way it was because of this. Sure, especially if it wasn't diagnosed.
Now, I'm not a doctor or a psychologist, but I feel at times you have moments of clarity and you're like, hey, I should really go get myself checked out or figured out.
Right. And bipolar disorder, as much as, the media in the past has made it seem like this crazy, like, I'm back and forth. It's not, to that level. Now, granted, if someone's not medicated and not treating it, sure, they can make bad decisions. They can be impulsive. But I think if we're really looking at the big picture, it had more to do with the substances than it had to do with an undiagnosed mental health condition. Because even if it was him feeling all those things because he had bipolar, he was choosing to medicate with a substance.
The wrong medication.
Right. And that's only going to make him more manic and more narcissistic tendencies because he already had this inflated sense of self-importance. And he said he had narcissistic tendencies. He admitted that on the stand. He had this deep need to be admired, and that could make the feelings of betrayal even worse because now you feel like, oh, I'm up here on this pedestal and this person doesn't want to be with me. Ali's belief that Anna was cheating on him may have felt like a personal attack on his self-worth because individuals with this type of untreated diagnosis can react to these perceived slights with anger and even a need for retribution. I think all of this combined, the defense was trying to show that it was like the perfect storm and he spiraled out of control.
But the prosecution showed that Ali's actions leading up to the murders, such as stalking his wife and installing spyware on their daughter's iPad, showed a need to assert control over a situation that he felt was slipping away. His inability to tolerate rejection and his fear of losing the image of his family and that public persona likely fueled his rage. The prosecution was showing that perhaps in his mind, he may have felt justified in taking their lives because he saw it as reclaiming control over what he viewed as a humiliating personal and public betrayal.
Exactly. Again, like I was saying, like he thinks he's up here on a pedestal and this is so deep. Like, how could you do this? I mean, we already know he thinks he's a better actor than Al Pacino. Like, I mean, this man is, getting an inflated sense of self-worth from all of the online love and admiration. He was even saying that blonde girl, her boyfriend was standing right there, but she recognized me. And he even made a point to tell the jury, oh, I was at the comedy club. Nobody cares. And that's why the prosecution was cutting him off because he can't help but keep talking about himself, even bragging to the jury about his accomplishments. So yes, that could seem like the ultimate put down.
Right. He had a mentality of, if I can't fix it, I'll get rid of it.
Right, because he knew he was losing her for good. Now, during closing arguments, the district attorney for the prosecution urged the jury to convict Ali Abulaban of 2 counts of first-degree murder. She outlined the timeline of events. She emphasized how Ali spied on Anna to confirm her presence with another man. And she argued that Ali acted with malice and intent, deliberately shooting both Anna and Ray as they just sat there on the couch in the apartment. This showcased a deliberate plan to kill. She stated, quote, "Heat of passion does not apply when you walk into an apartment that you have bugged with a key card that you are not supposed to have to a fight that no one else knew was happening but you, and you brought a gun. This is not heat of passion," end quote. The district attorney painted a chilling picture for the jury in her closing arguments. She argued that Ali had ample time to reconsider his plan as he drove to the downtown condo that he once shared with his wife, but he chose to carry out these murders anyway. She showed the jury a graphic crime scene photo that Ali sent to his mother, which showed his coldness. And then she played the haunting recording of those gunshots and Anna screaming.
She reminded the jury of his internet search on body disposal, asserting that these actions demonstrated premeditation, not a heat of the moment crime, as Ali so claimed. She told the jury that Ali was, quote, possessive and controlling of Anna, and if he could not have her, no one could, and she couldn't live, and any man she was with could not live either. End quote. Frost then detailed Ali's documented history of violence, pointing to Anna's text messages where she expressed fear and a desire to leave the marriage.
Now, the defense counsel, Jody Green, began her closing statements by going into Ali's traumatic childhood, his addiction, his undiagnosed mental health conditions, and his inability, supposedly, to regulate his emotions. She told the jury that Ali Abulaban is not a murderer. Yes, he killed Anna, the woman he loved, the mother of his beautiful daughter, Amira, and he killed Ray, a man with whom Anna was having an affair. She called it an affair. Well, this is just what she said. And he cannot undo what he has done, but he did not murder them. He is not a murderer. I know. I found it very strange. And on Reddit, people were very upset with her using the word affair because they were like, wait a minute, this wasn't a healthy marriage where nobody knew anything was wrong and you're sneaking behind. No, they ended it. Just because one person's like, I don't want it to be ended, doesn't mean it's not ended if that's someone's wishes.
In the eyes of the law, because you have that binding document,
right,
it is still considered a fair, especially if you're dealing with, separating of assets and stuff.
Exactly. And of course, the defense would paint it that way because they wanted her to look bad. Like, oh, well, she was cheating. So what do you expect? Same kind of thing he was saying when he was in jail doing that interview. Attorney Green told the jury that Anna had lied to Ali, she manipulated him and dragged along his emotions, and she stated, quote, "This relationship between Anna and Ali at this time is the apex of human emotion. It may not be your marriage, it may not be my marriage, but it is their marriage and its heightened state of despair," end quote. She also explained something to the jury that I thought leaned more towards the prosecution's case, but she talked about how Ali re-racked his gun in between each shot, which wasn't necessary, which she said showed that he was out of his mind and also all of that substance in his system.
I think she was trying to make a point that it wasn't him that was doing it. It was his coked out mind doing it.
Oh, exactly.
Right?
But I was thinking, no, it means it was overkill. It was like you're racking, you're doing all this stuff to like.
But it's also proven that he's not, or it's showing that he's not in the right state of mind.
Oh, I see where she's going with it. And there's a lot of people who made commentary afterwards that like he was in his Al Pacino thing because he had done that so many times.
It's still your body, bro. You made the decision.
I mean, you got a gun.
Right.
So what you do with it in your body, with your body, is you doing it regardless if you're taking on a character.
Right.
But that's what people said. Like maybe he was so, into his character that he became Al Pacino. It's like, okay, that's a little bit of a stretch.
Then lock him up longer. He's crazy.
I know. Well, we'll get there. The defense attorney asked the jury to come back with a verdict of not guilty or of manslaughter to give Ali a chance to watch his daughter grow and parent her while she still needs him.
That's wild.
Her mom is gone. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Anna doesn't have a chance.
Right.
It was just weird. But the jury saw right through it all. It didn't take long for them to come back with a verdict. Guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder with the added circumstance we told you about in the beginning of using a firearm and having multiple victims here in California. And following the verdict, his defense team requested a new trial. But of course, the court denied that motion.
And during sentencing, Ali read a 10-minute apology letter explaining that it wasn't fair to him to spend the rest of his life as a prisoner.
Never to see his daughter again, even though he had the chance so many years to be involved and be there.
He apologized to both Anna and Ray's families while managing to take zero responsibility and blaming all of his actions on his mental health and his drug addiction.
Now, I'm not a huge fan of giving killers a voice on either one of these channels, mine or this one, but I do want to play some of his apology letter just to give you an idea of what he sounded like. He definitely looked different with all of his hair now shaved off in prison.
Good morning, everyone. In a situation like this, there really isn't much a person can say that can help make things better. Losing a loved one to senseless and unnecessary violence isn't something that anyone should have to go through. And yet it has happened. And here I am being the reason why multiple families have had to experience it. I can't say that I'm proud of that. Throughout this trial, many horrific things were displayed. And as we sat here for weeks having to endure some of the most disturbing audio recordings and video footage, I sat there in silence, listening, watching, and being reminded of the worst moments of my life. Having to hear myself say some of the most vile, shocking, and hateful things to the woman I loved was not easy. In fact, I couldn't help but at times close my eyes and cover my ears, because that's not who I am. My behavior was disgusting and completely unacceptable. So when the time came for me to take the stand, I tried as best as I could to help make some sense of all this. To explain that everything you all saw in the last few months leading up to this incident was a horrific result of the tragic downfall to a once beautiful relationship. But even so, in those 3 days that I took the stand, I was able to share and say a lot of things, except the one thing I wanted to say the most. I am so incredibly sorry to each and every one of you who have been affected by this. I cannot imagine the pain that I've caused your family. I saw the look on all your faces and the tears in your eyes, and I hate that I'm the reason for it. On that day of October 21st, 2021, I was in the worst physical and mental state of my life. I was sick, suffering from an untreated severe mental illness that was combined with a crippling drug addiction, which put me in a state of a drug-induced psychosis. My response in that moment was an unintended, impulsive reaction against my better judgment to the discovery of Ray's romantic involvement with my wife. And for that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that in that moment, I was not mentally strong enough to control myself. I'm sorry that my horrendous action that day resulted in the undeserved deaths of Rayburn Barone and Anna Marie Abunabal. My partner, my best friend, the mother of my daughter, and the love of my life. I am ashamed of what took place. I am devastated by the damage that I've caused to Anna's family, to Ray's family, and to my family. If I could undo all of this, I wouldn't hesitate. If I could go back to that day, I would have left for LA first thing in the morning as I had originally planned. I would have given Anna the space she wanted, and I would have used that time to focus on getting the proper help I so desperately needed. And I would get on my knees and beg Anna for forgiveness. Forgiveness for becoming distracted, for letting my anxiety and my insecurities affect my thoughts and my behavior towards Anna and towards her friend. Forgiveness for using cocaine as a remedy and becoming addicted because of it. For neglecting my responsibilities to you, Anna, as your husband, and my responsibilities as a father.
It was hard for him to listen to all that, but it wasn't hard for him to murder two people.
I know. The only reason all of these horrific things were played in court was because he created all these horrific things to begin with.
And when speaking directly to Amira, he said, "When you're old enough to see this, please don't blame yourself. None of this is your fault. Your mother loves you so much, and I love you so much. You're the strongest girl I've ever known, and I'm so proud to be your father."
And to Ray's family, he said, after seeing just how consistently you all showed up to this trial in support of him, I have no doubt in my mind that Ray was a good person. The world has truly suffered a great loss, and for that, I'm terribly sorry. I can tell because your family showed up in court. He must have been a good person.
Yeah. He ended his statement by telling the judge, "Honestly, it feels like I'm being sent to hell. Even still, it's my goal to serve my time with the utmost outstanding conduct and to participate in every rehabilitative program while being a positive role model to other prisoners. I will do all this to the best of my ability with the goal of one day safely transitioning back into society."
Well, that statement did not move Judge Jeffrey Frazier. He gave a long statement and it was so good. It made so much sense. Even from the beginning, he was not messing around. He was like, listen, this defendant is not even eligible for probation, but if he was, I wouldn't be giving him probation.
And he said he has the ability to reduce the gun enhancement, but he's not going to.
Right. And he explained why. Because the jury heard all the evidence. They came back with a first-degree murder charge with the enhancement. And that was the only reasonable verdict in the judge's perspective for what he had heard in that courtroom. The judge pointed out a few of the key factors that the jury was looking at. The text to his cousin where he blatantly said he would kill a guy if he ever saw them with Anna. He said that. And his controlling demeanor. And the judge even said, he told us a minute ago that he wants us to know who he is. Well, that's who he is. It's clear from the videos. I mean, we saw him. We know, we can tell what his demeanor is like.
And the judge was reiterating the facts of the case, especially how he drove over with a loaded gun, took them by surprise, without a way for them to escape and completely off guard, and then he pulled the trigger within seconds of entering the apartment, killing Ray first so that Anna would have to watch in horror, and shooting them in the head. That's intent to kill. He called it very cruel.
And I think that was putting it lightly. He then went on to say he took photos. Who does that? That's what the judge said. Like, he took photos. Who does that?
I acknowledge the fact that at the time of this killing, he was suffering substance abuse and had some mental health issues. But I reject the fact that his childhood contributed to this at all. I hear terrible childhoods day in and day out. And his was not ideal, but it wasn't what we hear in this particular court. And I don't think that any of these crimes were connected, in fact, to his mental health or even his substance abuse. He was over 26. They did involve intimate partner violence, but he was the one that was committing the violence on her. And of course, he denied when confronted with it what happened initially.
And yes, the judge rejected that his childhood had anything to do with what he did. And now for the sentence.
But I can't say that I think he's sorry for having killed these two innocent human beings. He's a very selfish person, as I think the jury saw. That was something that his character kind of came through. When we asked, who is Ali Abulaban? That's who he is. He's somebody that is only thinking about himself, and the idea of killing two innocent people doesn't disturb him. It's killing him. So the bottom line here is he will die in prison. He will never be a free man. He will take his last breath.
Have you ever heard a round of applause?
Never.
I had neither. After a judge sentenced someone, it was like a concert. There were so many people just clapping for the judge. He gave him 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus another 50 years behind bars for the gun enhancement charges.
He's not getting out for the rest of his life.
Nope.
And for those of you wondering what happened to Ali and Anna's daughter Amira, she's being raised by Ali's mother Dalal.
Which I thought was surprising, because even though I know very little about this woman, the fact that she was defending her son, who was a cold-blooded killer, it just made me worried. I don't think that she would do anything to Amira, but she's being raised by the same people.
I'm not sure, but I don't think that Anna's family is in America.
They're not. They're in the Philippines.
So she's an American-born citizen. They're not going to ship her to the Philippines.
I'm sure that's why that happened that way. But for me, I was just worried about the psychological ramifications. I mean, she's already traumatized by everything she went through in the past. And she has connections with his dad too. Yeah. They're both still in this little girl's life. So part of me, I just didn't want to think about her being raised by the same people, but it doesn't mean that she's going to turn out the same way or anything. It concerned me.
So that's all we have for today, and we would love to hear your thoughts. Drop it in the comments.
Yes, we would love to have some conversations with you there and talk about what you think of everything you've heard. I know there were so many times that I was wondering what the audience was going to think about certain clips. Well, now is your chance. Thank you so very much for watching us. We will see you in our very next video. Bye.